This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys?
Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
following statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
To roll. Yes, we are. It is a morning of Monday, August 9th now, right? Something like that. 29th. We are coming down the stretch. You know, this is going to be the longest 2 weeks of our lives as Dolphin fans. Like, we've had like this long-ass off season, right? Where we've been excited because Mike McDaniel takes over. And then once we crossed over the threshold of, hey, he's kind of small, he looks geeky, doesn't look like a real head coach. And then you got to know him. You're like, whoa, I like this guy. I like his mind. I like how his offense, this, that, whatever, you know? And he's grown on you. And then the offensive staff that he put together compared to the shit you had here last year, you are so impressed with that staff. And now we've watched the offense, and after Tua took so much crap the last 2 years from people that really don't get what's actually going on, and now they're seeing a different Tua. You know, now we're seeing people trying to climb back on the bandwagon. By the way, kick them right in the face. Okay? All those people, when you see them climbing on the bandwagon, they're trying to get up and they're trying to get over. And those of us that are on the back, just a heel right in the face. Boom! Knock them right off the bandwagon, okay? Just to make sure. But anyway, so now we watch Tyreek Hill. We watch everything going on with this offense. We're watching the offensive linemen actually play better than they have in the last 2 years. Everything is kind of coming together. The excitement of Eric Ezukama, the excitement of Skyler, the excitement of all these things that are, you know, kind of like adding on to everything, okay? It's not just the guys that were here, but it's Tyreek and Ezukama and everybody else that they've added. And so now we've got to wait 2 weeks, man. This sucks. I know that we don't have to wait 2 weeks for football because it starts on next Thursday. I get that. But, I mean, we got to wait till 13 more days till the Dolphins take the field. This is going to be a long-ass Dan Marino-like days going on now. I'm telling you, dude. It's just brutal. I'm going to have to wait another 13 days to watch the exciting Dolphin football. That's the other thing. We're actually going to have exciting Dolphin football, I believe. We haven't had that in a while. On defense, we have, right? I mean, we have players over the years that have excited us in the last 20 years. But on offense, dude, it's few and far between. You know, it's the Lamar Smith year. It's Ricky Williams for 2 years. There's not a lot for us to hang our hats on over the last 20. You know, it's been really, really rough. And I think that those days are coming to an end now. I think you're actually going to see an exciting offense. But, man, we're going to have to wait 13 freaking days now. I mean, you know, I got to tell you, you're counting on me to get you through these 13 days. You're counting on Sean Stanley to get you through the 13 days. You're counting on the C-Man also help you out and get you through the 13 days. But I'm telling you, man, you guys are going to have to help us get through the 13 days. Because, damn, dude, that is, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. All right, what do we got here on a Monday morning? Jamie Zorria in the house from San Jose, California. I like the Flowers signing. The rotation's going to be ridiculously good, but this probably means AVG will probably be out for a few weeks. Possibly. Now, let me kind of enlighten you a little bit more on the Flowers signing. Okay, it's a nice rotational player. Trey Flowers is nothing special anymore. That's why you don't sign him to start. That's why you're signing him to be the final piece at the end of your rotational defensive, staff, pretty much. Because Agba, Phillips, Ingram, AVG when he gets back, Wilkins, Seiler, Baker, these are going to be your main pass rushers, and I think they'll keep Cameron Good. I think Cameron Good can help out in all kinds of ways. But let's be honest. This is a guy that had a 1.5 sacks last year. This guy has like a total of like 3 sacks in the last 2 years. 3 years ago, he had 7 sacks. He really hasn't been a really good player in a while, but he's just a rotational piece. He's an insurance policy. While you've got AVG out for a little bit, once you get Van Ginkel back, then, he'll barely be used. And he's going to be barely used too. They're going to use other guys, and he'll just kind of be a rotational complementary piece. So let's not make it more than what it really is. Okay, Trey Flowers is not Trey Flowers anymore from a few years back when he could get 6 or 7 sacks for you for a couple of years. Hasn't been that for a while now. So I don't know what he's going to be now. You just hope that maybe he can add a little something in the rotation, but he's a nice piece. Remember, he's available now at this point in the season, in the offseason, which is pretty bad that you're getting him at this point. It tells you what 32 teams feel about him. So let's not make it more than what it is. It's just an insurance policy for a rotational player that is just going to fill a spot. He's not filling AVG's spot. They're going to elevate somebody else. He's just going to be the last guy in that rotation to kind of help keep the other guys fresh. But if you get anything out of Trey Flowers, it's really a bonus. Okay, we're talking about a guy that averages 1.5 sacks the last 2 years. This is not something that you're getting that, oh my God, this is a great addition, a steal and all that. No, he's just a nice rotational player with experience. Nothing more, nothing less. Let's not make it more than what it really is, okay? It's just a desperation, insurance piece that you sign right now until you get Andrew Van Ginkel back and you can count on him. Trey Flowers, unfortunately, cannot be counted on. But for now, as a backup, it's not a bad signing. So let's just pump the brakes a little bit on the Trey Flowers stuff. Scott Primus is in the house. Brian Walters in. Gus 1388. Anthony, John Padilla, Isaiah, Neil Finn says, good morning from the Bahamas. Yeah, when I grow up, I want to be like you, Neil. I need Bitcoin to explode, and then I can go live in the Bahamas. Nizzle is there. DJ Gallagher. He says, listening a little bit before I go to sound check since I'm DJing tonight and tomorrow in Las Vegas, Planet 13. I laughed when I saw it. Reminded me of the summer show. Yeah, there you go. Planet 13. Yeah, man. Tell them that we want them as a sponsor and that we will go over there to do shows over at Planet 13. Okay? Smoke up a storm. They can show all different kinds of buds, all that kind of stuff. So talk to the folks at Planet 13. You DJ, we do a talk show. Ron on the all-night telethon. Jean-Luc, Eyes of Your Eyes. Okay. It's kind of like deep, creepy, different. But Jean-Luc, okay, we got you. Eyes of Your Eyes. Okay. Jonathan Cagle is in the house. He's ready for another great show. Have we had one of those yet? Drago is in. Duck Dog in. Ricky D Man says the one commercial be hitting. I don't even like techno. He's talking about the liquor split one, right? Right? That's the one, right? That's got the funky music. Yeah. Let's see what else. Topher, True Fin Fan, 6193, Andrew Moore. Topher says, Big O, I know you saw that O-line porn Baldy made in Twitter. Wow, yeah, he did. Yeah, Baldy's all over this whole Mike McDaniel. He's been telling us, okay, remember when he created that 8-9 minute video when they hired McDaniel to like show, well, no, actually that video was already created before that. We just found it after they hired McDaniel. So he was already on the Mike McDaniel bandwagon. And then when Miami got him, he was like, yo, Dolphin fans, yo, you got a coach. You got like a real dude that knows offense. And he's right. He's right. It was a total O-line porn, Topher. I'm with you. I was just getting excited while watching it. JDM Wizard says McDaniel's preseason offense looks way better than Flo's offense for 3 years. Yeah, because he's a real offensive coach. You know, Flo's an idiot. He doesn't know shit about offense. He couldn't even build a staff. Brett Dodger in. Eddie Lepp is in. Miami Breaker 305. Thank you for the love, Miami Breaker. Very nice of you. Ron says, that's right. Kick him right in the face. Eddie Lepp says top 13 Dolphins of all time countdown. It's too hard. It's too hard. Fireman, morning, Big O. And to you all, Fin fans, have a wonderful day. Yo, do this. Longest 2 weeks of every year, Big O. Yeah, but you know, you're the difference is if you've listened to this show long enough, okay, the good thing about this show, it's good for most of you that can handle it. The oversensitive, like hardcore blind ass Dolphin fans that they can't handle any objectivity or negativity, those people have a problem with my show sometimes, because I'll be honest. And so this is not the longest 2 weeks of the year. If we're talking about a couple of years ago, 5 years ago, 8 years ago, when I'm telling you, yeah, I don't think this team's going to be very good. They're not going to make the playoffs. And then I piss off that, you know, that blind ass fan that can't handle the truth. Oh my God, don't tell me the truth. Tell me my team's going to win the Super Bowl every year. You know, you run into that fan that tells you the Dolphins going to win 13 games every year. You know, God bless you, but it's just stupid. You know, it's just ridiculous. The fan that cannot look at their team objectively and honestly, you're kind of like a child. You know what I mean? You're so immature that you can't handle the truth. So on this show, I'll tell you when they suck. I'll tell you when they're doing something stupid, something wrong. They didn't sign the right person. The contract is terrible. It's a bad trade. It's going to be a bad season. I'm not afraid to tell you when it's bad. So 2 weeks of looking forward to what I'm afraid of is not really looking forward to it that much. I love Dolphin football, but I'm afraid of the pain. I'm excited that we're going to deliver pain. That's the difference. Like these 2 weeks, I can't wait for them because I truly feel the Dolphins are going to be great. I truly feel the Dolphins are going to go to the playoffs. I truly feel they've got real coaching now. I told you at the beginning of last year, let's see. They've got offensive line coach that has no experience, a quarterback's coach that has no experience, offensive coordinators that have no experience, with 4 offensive linemen that have no experience and a journeyman blocking the blind side of Tua. No running game and a bunch of injured receivers. How's that going to work? Go back and rewind. Go back and listen to the shows. They're there. It's hard to look forward to shit like that. You know what I'm saying? This is something that I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Like Ricky Williams. Remember when we got Ricky? I remember the first day of training camp, and there were people lined up all the way around the fence in Davie. You remember that? The stands were full. They couldn't let anybody else in. So they were really cool at Dolphins camp. They ended up taking down the green tarps that surround the field. And there were literally 1,000 fans lined up all along the fence to go see Ricky. Standing in the sun, standing outside. You remember that? Stuff like that we look forward to. But there are other times where, I'm looking forward to Dolphin football, but deep down inside, I know it's Clubber Lang, prediction, pain, that kind of stuff. Like deep down inside, I know what's coming. It's not good. This is good. This is going to be really good. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. It's like you waiting for an album to arrive from Columbia House. There you go. Exactly. Just like that. Every day, checking the mailbox. Where's my 8 tracks? Where's my albums? Where's my cassettes? Come on, Columbia. BMG. Cough it up. Lisa Rose in the house. Robert Triana, Yo Dudis, call me crazy, but I like the guys we already had. Don't think we needed Flowers. Don't think he's an upgrade. It's just an insurance policy at the back end. That's all it is. It's at this point, you're not going to get like a 10-sack guy sitting out in the sidelines. Hey, I've signed with nobody. I can do 10 sacks for you. Anybody got some cash? You got a contract? Can you throw me a bone? No, that's not going to happen, unfortunately. So you get a Trey Flowers that can average a sack and a half a year. That's what you get at this point in time. All the good ones are gone. Tim Chuddy is in. James Vivinetti in. Patricia Tostado. Hello, Fins, from a Mexican Dolphin fan. Patricia. Gracias. Nico Jones. Happy Miami has an actual QB problem because we have too many good ones. There you go. Tiger Shark Tony is in. He's in Carlsbad, New Mexico. Dougie Fresh, what will the Tua haters be saying now? The throw was really 49.5 yards, not 51. El Reezy says, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, El Reezy. Everybody give El Reezy a happy birthday out there. Samuel Robina. He says, start pulling receipts on all those Tua haters. Oh, I will. Well, I will. We'll wait till the season, gets going and the stats are flowing and the TDs and all that. And then we will start to grill people like Danny Cannell. Nelson Alfonso, 2 weeks is a long time, man, but there's great college games this weekend. Georgia, Oregon, Notre Dame, OSU, LSU, FSU will be fine. Yeah, no, it's good to have some college football games, except for, of course, the one, which is really, that's not a game. Ray is in the house. Cigar Social. That's right. Smash that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe if you're watching. Please subscribe to the program. Help us grow, man. Help us get to 25,000 subscribers. That's the goal. We got to get to 25,000 subscribers. That's what we got to do. Empower this thing and get this elevated to Dolphin fans, Heat fans, Marlins fans, Panther fans, Inter Miami fans, Canes fans, all over the world. Dougley Durong threw up a great stat. Only 6 players over 50-plus yards led to a TD all of last year. It's rare even amongst the best QBs. I was talking with somebody about this at camp. Joe Flacco could throw 100 yards if he wanted to, right? How many of those did he throw in his career? Like the 60, 70-yarder, maybe 5, 6, 7 times in his entire career. People make it sound like it's something that's, and even the one that he threw now for 51 yards, he even said he could have led. Look, he threw a 62-yarder the other day in front of me. The ball was in the air for 62 yards. So he knows he can put a little, it's all about timing. And that's what he's got to get. But the good thing is he threw it to the left to guide it away from the DB, and Tyreek adjusted and got it because he knew the DB wasn't going to be able to adjust to that. And so that was smart. But yeah, of course. But he can throw the one that leads him. He just didn't throw it at that moment. And that's just a matter of timing. And that'll happen. That'll get better as time goes on in game action, because they haven't done this a lot in game action. They're doing it in practice, but in games, it's a little different. Let's see. Robert says, I wanted to thank you for the general advice you give us as a community. I am now enjoying my 11th day of sobriety after seeking help, and you, my friend, were part of the influence. Wow. I'm really proud of you, Robert. I had no idea I had anything to do with anything. But I'm glad that you are getting the help, man. That's the most important thing, that you address the situation and then you attack it and overcome it. We can all overcome our adversities. It's here. It's all here. It's always there. That's what's going to get you over the top, man, is mental strength. So we're right behind you, my brother. You stay strong. Chad is in. Says I can do the testing and tasting at Planet 13. Oh, okay. There we go. There we go. I can have my own smoke machine while I'm performing. I'll feel like a rock star, because then Chad will be just blowing smoke my way. I'll feel like I'm in the Hollywood Sportatorium all over again, walking out with contact high on a consistent basis. I didn't smoke, but I did smoke. It's one of those, right? Gilbert Martinez, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Let me bring up the super chatters here. We got Gilbert. Gilbert, thank you, sir, for the love. Thank you. And then Robert Triana, thank you, sir, for a little super chat love. Very nice of you. Andrew Moore says porn is exactly that video was. If you're not excited, get some Blue Chew. That's right. Pat in Asheville says, congrats to Robert. Damn right. We all got to back our guy, Robert. Let's see. What up, O? Says David Triana. I cannot wait until Alec Ingold at the fullback position with Edmonds and Moster. We're going to have some fun watching the team. I agree. 6193. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. Nelson Alfonso says, Orlando, maybe Flowers' sack numbers were down because of the scheme he was playing in and how he was utilized. Maybe he can be more productive in the old scheme he played in. You could be right, Nelson, but he's not going to play a lot. So I can't expect him to get a lot when he's not going to be a major part of the rotation. He's more kind of a back-end guy that will get a couple snaps. So I don't expect him to get a ton of snaps. And maybe that'll help him too, keep him fresh. We'll see. Looks like Greer had another good draft. Tyndall, Thompson, good. Ezukama. I think all these guys make the team and show promise. I agree, Ray. True FinFan says, my emotions are so mixed right now. I've been saying 8 or 9, no playoffs, and watching a little taste of it Sunday, making me gladly think about eating my words. I think they're going to be a double-digit team, and they're going to be in the playoffs. I really do. It's a 9-10 win team that this guy inherited, and he made the offense way better now. Hell, even added a couple pieces to the defense and defensive coaches. So I like this team. Call me a homer, call me crazy, tell me that I'm out of my mind, whatever. But I'll tell you, when I was in Vegas making a little wager, I took the Dolphins over 8.5. Okay. Now you can make a wager too, by the way. Yeah. Have you guys ever heard of BetUS? That's right, baby. That's right. BetUS. You're going to love it. Now, BetUS, proud sponsor of our program now. And a code, as always, it's Big O. I want you to save that code. All right. Now, listen to this. When you talk about BetUS, they're back now for their 28th year. So that is consistency. 28 years of NFL action. BetUS offers the industry's biggest sign-up bonus, up to 200%, folks. BetUS has all your favorite leagues, including the NFL, NBA, and MLB. And BetUS offers everything, including live betting, MMA, golf, horses, esports, and all kinds of crazy bets. Oh, I love my props, and I can get it at BetUS. BetUS also has hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest European slots with live dealers, and they're waiting for you at the tables. So let's go to BetUS, folks. BetUS is a sports book with integrity and longevity, and you know that you are going to get paid. That's right. They're not going to disappear like some of those offshore shady sites. No, 28 years. BetUS is not going anywhere. That's over a quarter century, folks. Go to BetUS. That's BetUS.com. Join now and get 200% in bonus with the promo code BIG. Oh, let's win with the Dolphins. We're going to win big, baby. Nobody in the industry gives you better discounts than BetUS. Again, join now and mention our code Big O, and you can get up to 200% in bonuses on your first deposit. Nobody beats that. Head to BetUS.com. Join today. That's BetUS, where the games begin. Use our code Big O and get 200%, man. I like the 200% deal. 200% is pretty damn good. It's a lot of you on the chat board already, man. Damn. Thank you out there. I like it. One guy's called Omar's Sushi Roll. Playoff run. Isaiah says, Big O, do you agree Porter Gustin has earned the spot? I think he has. Yes, I do. And maybe Porter makes it while AVG's out, and then when AVG comes back, it might be down to Porter or Trey Flowers. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Any word on the grad transfer running back the Canes signed? I know as much as you do that I read in the paper. Got to just trust them. We'll have Manny on tomorrow and we'll go over it. You know, the part that, again, what sucks about college football, it's not a Canes thing, it's college football. We have no feel for them whatsoever. None. We don't really know what's good, what's bad. You can't take coach's word for it because they're not going to tell you. They're not going to be honest about their teams because they're not going to tell you what they're really unhappy with unless we see it and then we ask about it. You know, that's the only way. So that's the part that's frustrating about it. And now this week, you're not really going to get a good feel for them because they're playing a terrible team too. You know, so can I use BetUS in Florida? Yes, you can, sir. Yes, BetUS in Florida. Do it, but use our code Big O so you can get up to get the 200%, man. So when you put the first deposit, you get that extra juice. All right. Andy says, Big O, I don't see a way the Dolphins can keep Igbo, Good, and Skyler and also keep 6 wide receivers, 5 cornerbacks, 4 safeties, 6 DLs, and 8 linebackers, 9 offensive linemen, 1 fullback, and 4 tight ends. Thoughts? Yeah, that's why the 6 receiver is going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting. And maybe you don't go 9, maybe you go 8 on the lineman and you keep another guy on the practice squad. But Iggy is on the roster for sure. For sure, he's on the roster. Good, I think he made the roster, but maybe they think they can sneak him onto the practice squad. So Pep is asking about Trey Flowers. We talked about it. You got to rewind a little bit, my brother. It's there. You know how it is. We're digital. We don't repeat content. We move on and provide more content. Lazy radio is repeating the same thing over and over again. We're digital now. That's what the world is. So we don't repeat content, but it's there, my brother. Just you got to rewind a little bit and you'll get all the Trey Flowers info that you want. Dolphin Jay says, I'm so pumped from Iowa. You should be. You should be. You definitely should be pumped up about it. All right. Don't forget, Acura Pembroke Pines is a proud sponsor of our program, man. They've been at it. They've been the number 1 volume sales dealership now in the Southeast United States, 13 straight years, folks. Dominating. And they've been a proud sponsor of ours during that time also. So get on down to 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. And if you own an Acura, go see Mike Chan and Jordan Ferber. They are outstanding. That's a service center that will definitely take care of you. They've got a beautiful fleet of certified pre-owned vehicles. The brand new 2023 Integra is in. It's been out there for the last 2 months, and it is taking the industry by storm. It is a beautiful vehicle. Go out there and check it out. And the other thing I was seeing is their electric vehicle that's going to come out next year. I can't wait for that SUV. It's going to be pretty cool. But go check out the Integra. What a beautiful vehicle that is. Go check out the full line of Acura vehicles out there. Tell them that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you at Craig's Inns, Acura of Pembroke Pines. And speaking of Craig's Inns, let's switch gears. Let's talk a little basketball. Ira Winderman, where are the Heat going to go? No Durant. What's next? Plus, got some NBA things I want to ask Ira about. We do that next.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
All right, there he is, Ira Winderman. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I am doing good. Just trying to figure as August turns to September if we might have a better read going into camp with the Heat. But hey, that's why we have these Acura Pembroke Pines reports every Monday and Friday, because you know something is brewing, even if they won't tell you what's brewing.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Okay, so Durant's dead, obviously. They never were interested in Kyrie Irving.
Durant's dead for now. When someone is as mercurial, tough word for me, we'll be back to this. The Acura Pembroke Pines reports in November and January and March will still be mentioning Kevin Durant because the guy's never truly comfortable. So you know what, Big O? When the Nets start off at 1-4, then we'll talk about it. But I understand.
No, exactly. Right. But here's the thing. They may have already, for lack of a better term, blown their load already at that point, and they are out and they won't be able to make that move. So that's why I'm following up with this.
Sure.
The Donovan Mitchell thing, while, the Knicks they can offer 4 billion picks and all of that. What is going on with that one? Because that one's kind of died out, but they do want to move Donovan Mitchell. So what is Danny Ainge waiting for in this scenario? I'm just wondering.
Danny Ainge is being gluttonous, and he's seeing that the Knicks might have as many as 7 first-round picks available. So it's not what my player's worth, it's what do you have? So he's playing this game and trying to play off other teams against the Knicks, because I don't think there's a better package out there, especially if RJ Barrett is involved. And it's just a matter of they're playing liar's poker with each other. You know, Big O, that's actually a trade. There's so many trades we look at, and you'll go to me, Ira, who won this trade? And I would look at a Knicks Jazz trade and going, if the Jazz get picks, that's what they want. Once they did the Rudy Gobert trade, they want picks. The Knicks want relevance. And the only way they're going to get relevance, because they've screwed up everything else, is a guy whose father works in the PR department of the New York Mets, says he wants to be in New York and be in that market. It's a perfect fit. Here's the problem for the Knicks. And I'll ask you this. You take the Knicks' current roster. You mix in Donovan Mitchell with Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. Are they a contender? Are they at that final spot they need to be? That's the question with the Knicks is, or will they need more? And so I think when you look at it, I think that's the biggest problem there is where do the Knicks stand and sort of what's going on with them and how do they move forward in that situation? As I try to figure out if Big O is frozen or if I have frozen on this end. So, hey, Sean.
Let me turn my mic on. I'm sorry. You have not frozen.
Sean,
Apparently, and he dropped off. So let me try.
Okay, you know what? I'll continue to pontificate. You let me know when Big O is back.
I will.
Anyway, so that's where I see the situation going right now when people go, what's going on with Donovan Mitchell? Part 2 of all of this, as we continue with our Acura Pembroke Pines report, is this. Is how much, if you're the Miami Heat, are you willing to give up to try to counter what New York can offer? And you can make an argument, hey, the Heat do not have the draft picks the Knicks do, but a lot of the Knicks picks are protected. That's the ones they got around the NBA draft in June, and that's what they're trying to offer because they know down the road they have the potential to be terrible. If the Knicks offer unprotected picks, you're not going to get better value because the value right now for Miami Heat picks are a team that's perennially in the playoffs. When they don't make the playoffs, they wind up at the back end of the lottery. We've seen that already. with Tyler Hero and with Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo being number 14, number 13 picks, you're only going to get certain quality. And what I addressed today at AskIra@SunSentinel.com, it's posted now, is this: how much more if you put Tyler Hero into play, a player who has very similar statistics as Donovan Mitchell with two other factors in play there. Tyler is, even though he has those short arms, he's longer. He's 3 inches taller than Donovan Mitchell, and he's younger. So you have two factors in play there also. So again, you might say, hey, Donovan Mitchell is widely regarded as the better player by NBA executives, those who know it. Fine. The question is, how much better? Is Tyler Hero and 1 first-round pick enough, or is it too much for a Heat perspective? Is Tyler Hero a pick and a prospect, say a Max Strus or a Omer Yurtseven, too much? Or again, is that the price you pay of getting the better player? The thing is, I know everyone wants change. They were looking at the Celtics and you're saying, I know Danilo Gallinari is injured now, but they got Malcolm Brogdon. You look at the Atlanta Hawks, they got DeJounte Murray. They've made their moves. You can say what you want about Philadelphia, but between the trades they made on draft night and getting PJ Tucker, they're certainly not worse and arguably better. And I like the Joe Ingles addition when he gets healthy, comes back from his injury with the Milwaukee Bucks. So there have been upgrades elsewhere. So I think what you have to do in that case is look at the Miami Heat and say, okay, we know there are upgrades elsewhere. We know teams have brought in outsiders. But when it comes to the Miami Heat, where are their upgrades? And I would argue their upgrades are internal. And I know it's not sexy. I know it's not a new uniform you can sell or something else. But when you go down this Heat roster, Tyler Hero made the jump to NBA Sixth Man of the Year. And after he did that, the first thing he said was he wants to come back as a starter. We've seen him working in the gym, and I know every NBA player works in the gym in the offseason. But if Tyler comes back, you know, the Heat's motto always is 1% better. Get 1% better every day. But let's say Tyler Hero comes back and is a 5%, a 10% better player, which you should expect from a 22-year-old. That's a net gain. Victor Oladipo has not participated in an NBA training camp right now for the last 3 years because of his knee and quadriceps injuries. So you would think no matter what, a player getting a full training camp, being with the team for a full season, and a team knowing who that player is for the last year and a half, that has to be a net gain. So you have two things right there. We've spoken about Bam Adebayo and what he can be and how he can add to his game. And again, sometimes players are, especially when you get in that 25, 24-year range, they are who they are, which is still pretty good with Bam Adebayo. But we did see at the Miami Pro League this summer, he went out there, he shot jumpers, he shot three-pointers. You at least have a player who is working to get his game better. So you have that factored in there also. That's a possible net gain. And then just before I came on here to do our Acura Pembroke Pines report this Monday, I was watching Bill Simmons' podcast. He had Justin Tremaine on from NBA Radio. And they were talking about one of their real concerns about the Heat is Kyle Lowry and how he fell off the face of the earth and looked bad in the playoffs. Two factors there. Soft tissue injury. He had the injury going into the playoffs, and it continued through the playoffs. He missed time in the first two series. So you have to understand that was not Kyle Lowry 100%. Two, the Pat Riley challenge. Pat Riley was very sort of, he touched in the corners there for a while, and then he came out and said how Kyle Lowry has to come back in better condition. And I know for a fact that pissed off Kyle Lowry. And a pissed off Kyle Lowry is actually a better Kyle Lowry because he has a point to make. He missed time because of the family situation, which still will have to be monitored this coming season. But when you look at it right now with Kyle Lowry, you know he's coming back as a player with a chip on his shoulder. This reminds me of when Tim Hardaway had that weight clause in his contract for 1 year, had to go for those weekly weigh-ins to collect a paycheck. And Tim Hardaway wanted nothing more that season but to put into Pat Riley's face how he was going to overcome all those comments and he was going to show that he could be the better man. I think you're going to see that from Kyle Lowry also. So it comes down to this. An upgrade from Tyler Hero, having Victor Oladipo back for the entire season and the entire preseason and an entire training camp. Bam Adebayo, who has taken steps over his career, making the same growth. So that's why Big O, to get back to your point about 1, do they make a move for Donovan Mitchell? And 2, do they make a move because they have to make a move? My thought is this, Big O, there is plenty of room for growth from within. And that's not sexy. And that's not, like I said, a new jersey to sell. But you know what? There is enough from this Heat roster that for people like Bill Simmons and Justin Tremaine to say, this team's not even a playoff contender anymore, it's like, come on, that's just knee-jerk.
Okay, so now I was checking out your Ask Ira, and your Ask Ira made national headlines because of Montrezl Harrell, and then the 2 words that it bothers me, luxury tax, and I just it's like, Mickey, I love you, brother, but I don't care about luxury tax, bro. You're a billionaire. I don't care about luxury tax. But here's my problem with this. So we're down to Montrezl Harrell. We're not gonna go get Miles Turner. We're not gonna go get John Collins.
You're gonna try to get players like that, but if there are better offers, for example, Big O, the Miles Turner trade, which I am all in favor with. Matter of fact, I'm writing another Ask Ira for the Sun Sentinel tomorrow about it because I find him to be sexy as a player. As a man, I'll leave that to others. What the Lakers can offer would be Russell Westbrook, contract ballast, just garbage. Okay, I understand that. But 2 Lakers first-round picks in 27 and 29, if they're unprotected, could be the first pick in the draft, could be top 5. I think the Lakers post-LeBron, just like the Lakers post-Shaq, post-Kobe, can be garbage. I don't think they have the culture to sustain. Those are sexy picks. So you could say, well, the Heat could offer their 26.
Because cap space doesn't mean anything to the Pacers.
It doesn't mean anything to any of these teams involved, right?
Pacers, right, because they're not going to lure free. Cap space means something to the Heat, to sexy teams, but not to the Pacers.
No, and I agree. So the Westbrook contract is just something you have to get to balance Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, and I get that.
Right.
The Heat offer could be Tyler Hero, if you want it to be, and I would accept that. It would be the ballast in Duncan Robinson's contract. The problem is this, Big O. Russell Westbrook is a 1-year headache. He's $40 million this year, and then he goes away, and you don't have to worry about it. Duncan Robinson's contract matches up with Miles Turner's contract, salary for salary. Miles about $18 million, Duncan in that same range. But Duncan has 3 more years after this left. And this is going to scare you. I don't want to scare you first thing on a Monday morning in our Acura Pembroke Pines report. Next year, Duncan Robinson gets paid another $18 million. The year after, let's take a deep breath here, my friend, and breathe slowly, $20 million. And the year after, Duncan Robinson earns $20 million. So you're not just taking on Duncan for the matching salary and 2 draft picks this year. You have to eat that money. Among the reasons the Pacers are being linked to trades for Miles Turner is this. He's an impending free agent after this season. You always make this risk-reward valuation. Do I want to have to pay this guy, or do I want to start clean? Do I want to start over with my draft choices and go in another direction? So if you're worried about paying Miles Turner the money, why would you take on Duncan Robinson's $58 million after this season?
The only reason I would say is because if you do believe he's a good shooter, we now have him locked in for 3 more years, and he's not going anywhere, and he's our guy, and we can't keep people here anyway. And you still are risking, no matter what draft pick you get, the draft pick doesn't mean anything because you don't know what you're going to get in that player. So you've already gotten a proven shooter, one of the best shooters in the NBA. So if you're the Pacers, you're getting a guy that you get to that's the luxury part of it. The picks aren't going to be as sexy because obviously Miami picks are always going to be in the latter half of the first round. But the Pacers have actually done a pretty decent job with those latter picks at times. So, I mean, they're a team that maybe can have you can have success both ways. Let's take the guy that we know can shoot now, and then maybe we could do something with those picks down the line.
All right, so let me throw this one at you because we do this twice a week on our Acura Pembroke Pines report. So let's say Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and 1 first-round pick for Miles Turner. Orlando Alzagari, new assistant general manager to Andy Ellisberg. You making that deal?
You said, say that again. What was it again for Miles Turner?
Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero for cap purposes. Plus, I'm going to limit it to 1 first-round pick. Would you make that deal if you're the Heat?
In a heartbeat.
And again, and I know your Big O reasoning is because, of course, you have Victor Oladipo here anyway. You have Strus to replace
I have
Duncan
Caleb.
Robinson.
I have Strus.
Vincent.
I need the length. I need the rebounding. I need the defense, and I need a stretch four. And that's exactly why I want Miles Turner, because he can play on the court with Bam because he can shoot the three. We can't put two big men on the floor that can't shoot. That doesn't make any sense. But Miles Turner also gives me that element too as a stretch four, in other words.
And I agree with you. So the point I made in my Ask Ira at sunsentinel.com was this. I'll go into the luxury tax if that trade puts me there, because that's a significant gain. I will go into the luxury tax for Kevin Durant if that was possible. I will go in the luxury tax for Donovan Mitchell.
But not for Montrezl Harrell.
No, but my point being, that's why. That was the example I gave. My example was, I like him as a player. Montrezl Harrell will make up my team better. I have the roster spot as a 15th man.
True.
But just like when you and I are talking about trading these Heat draft choices or Tyler Hero, you know there is a chance for one big move left. And as much as I would love on August 29th or 30th to be done, you got to be patient. You got to, it's like you have a great guest who wants to come on to the Big O radio show, and he tells you, I can give you 5 minutes on an interview on Monday, but if you can wait till Thursday, I have a 20-minute hole in my schedule, I'll do that. And you got to be patient. Yes, you're just chomping at the bit, because if I can get Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, on my show, this is going to put the numbers through the roof. But you want the best possible interview. Same thing with the Heat. And again, I know, Big O, we do these shows twice a week, and there's still plenty to talk about. But the Miami Heat don't give a rat's ass about your downloads. They love you, Big O. They love you. When you're coming on and talking more Miami Heat than anyone else in the market. They love that part of it. But they also understand they're going to use their timing for their move.
Oh, you froze. Okay, there we go.
So, yeah. So,
all right. No, because you froze a little bit there at the end. All right. So as long I just hope that they're able to make that kind of move to add to this, because you're right. It's not sexy.
Right.
It is very possible to improve from within, because there is room for improvement for several players on this team. So you can be a better team this year, especially with Oladipo. If Oladipo really can, nobody's going to be more motivated than that dude to kind of prove that he's back. So hopefully that's
why I mentioned him. That's why I mentioned Tyler. That's why I mentioned the Kyle Lowry revenge tour. That's why I mentioned Bam trying to expand his game. And Big O, players grow here. Really, when you think about it, yes, Duncan Robinson struggled with his shooting last season rather. But there have not been players here who've stagnated. They're not players who you look at me and you go, Ira, man, this guy is no better in year 3 than he was in year 1.
No,
because one, if that happens, the Heat will cut their ass and trade their butt and get them out of here, because they expect that kind of growth. They expect it from Bam. They expect it from Tyler. And you know what, Big O? They won't tolerate if there's not growth, because lack of growth is from one thing: lack of effort, lack of time. And the Heat will be all over them with their 24-hour gym when it comes to that.
I'm with you there. All right. So he's not going to be on this team, but you may be running into an old Heat player in Markieff Morris. So is it Nets? Is it Sixers? Where's Markieff going? And good riddance to him, by the way.
Well, Markieff is from Philadelphia, has been playing the Philadelphia Pro-Am this summer. So I think if he had his choice, he'd rather stay home. He's always said he wanted to go back there and play. That's certainly a possibility. They need a certain restructuring. What's interesting, Big O, is this. With Brooklyn, you know whose role he would step in and take, which is ironic, would be James Johnson's role. James Johnson was let go by the Nets just before the playoffs, so you sort of have another issues player. Let's call him like that. Look, Markieff Morris, I still think could help this current Heat roster just because of the uncertainty with power forward. But I think what he put himself through, and I hope the neck is okay, is one thing, but he also put the Heat through that. He also took himself out for those 59 games last season. He also made the one move that we tell our children and everyone, think
and took zero accountability.
Yes, think before you act. Your actions matter. And whether you think that, it was Nikola Jokic's fault for that incident in Denver, whether you think it was Markieff's fault, Nikola Jokic came back, had an MVP season, Denver was fine. The Heat all season were chasing their tails for a backup power forward because of that one moment in time for Markieff Morris. So, that probably sealed his fate as much as any roster or luxury tax or Udonis or anything else there.
Yeah, for me, it was always his own fault, and karma is what happened. He got what he deserved for taking a cheap shot, and the other guy then took another cheap shot. The Warriors, James Wiseman, he's got like 2 years, $21 million left on that deal, and they're paying a boatload of luxury tax. What happens to Wiseman? Because it looks like they're going to try to move him.
Well, I think that, and God bless the Warriors, they realize they're an in-the-moment team. They survived the Klay Thompson injury. Steph Curry's not getting any younger. It's amazing how long Steph Curry's been around anyway. They have that older roster. They also have to pay
Looney's development has been
and Kayvon Looney's been terrific. Draymond Green is approaching an extension. So while you might be talking about the Heat getting,
they're not going to do that, right? They're not going to extend that dude, right? They're not going to give him that crazy ass money that
I think they will, because I think they have taken a familial approach with their mainstays and realize, look, this is not a guy, it's not one, not two, like LeBron with the press conference down here. He's contributed to multiple Warriors championships.
But his game gets worse as he gets. He does not have the kind of game that ages well, Ira. That's the problem. It's not like Dwayne Wade that he can then adjust and play the post a little bit more.
His game fits as long as Klay and Steph are there. So if you can work out a contract on their timeline, you go there. James Wiseman has always been one of those guys, even when they drafted him. What can they flip him for? That's an in-the-moment team. God bless him. When you're paying that luxury tax, you better be an in-the-moment team. Yeah. And so, I think James Wiseman for the next veteran of choice absolutely could happen. But oh my God, I mean, their luxury tax bill basically is the league's entire luxury tax. And you know what? They have the beautiful new Chase Center. You can have a better financial market than Silicon Valley right now. So they can afford it. That's the difference. Mickey Harrison might give you various variables for his TV contract.
He can afford it too. He can afford it too.
But he can afford it because of the money he has before this Heat ever came along. The Warriors can because of their new arena and because of their market. They're in the moment money. The Heat, you're talking about touching some of their legacy money.
It's all right, but they got plenty of money, bro. Those folks are more than comfortable. They'll be all right. Again, I no cry for you, Mickey Addison. You got plenty of money, baby. Plenty of cash. Anyways, follow Ira Winderman, and Mickey, give him some money. He needs some cash too. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat. And, of course, catch him 3 times a week here doing his thing. He'll be back on Wednesday with our Red Recover Inside the Paint Show, and then back again on Thursday doing his thing with the Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. Ira, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
Hey, you let me have a soliloquy today in the middle, so hopefully it all went right there. Sometimes I can survive without Big O. Not a lot. I've tried the other stations. It didn't work out as well.
No. The computer restarts, but it decided that it had to also update at the same time. It's just like, really, dude? Do you have to update right now while I'm on the air? It's just like, that was not.
Or did I put a virus in there so I could have my moment in the sun? Catch you on Wednesday with Kurt Heelan, 9 a.m., redrecover.com, Inside the Paint. Thanks, Big O.
The Markieff Morris virus. Thank you, Ira. Appreciate you. There you go. That's Ira Winderman and Acura Pembroke Pines. You want a great vehicle, get on down to 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. That is Acura of Pembroke Pines.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's in Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Jay Gelfin says, one thing I haven't heard is the possible offseason improvement of Duncan Robinson. I don't think we've heard of anything. Where Caleb Martin is, where Max Strus is. Although, no, wait a minute. Strus has shown a little some in some of these pro-ams. I guess we haven't seen much from Duncan. I don't know, man. Jay, I think he's more of a trade piece than anything else. I don't know what future he has. If remember how I talk about the Dolphins now and how they got to finish out their roster now by the time they get to 4:00 tomorrow. I told you that in order to keep Skyler and do some of those things, the irresponsible things they've done in the past, like last year where they had players that weren't two-way players and they weren't helping you on special teams, or you keep a Sam Aguivan who really is a liability as a linebacker. You know, yeah, great. He plays awesome in preseason, but come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you're the Heat and you look at Duncan Robinson, yeah, you developed a hell of a shooter, but dude, he's a complete liability on defense. And then here's the other thing, Jay, with Duncan Robinson. Here's the problem with Duncan Robinson. The obvious and most lazy argument you make about Duncan Robinson is what? He can't play defense, right? That's the other one. That's the only one that you make. But we got to move over to offense. He can't put it on the floor to create his own shot. He's not really a facilitator. He's not a rebounder, right? So you think about it. He can't play in the post. He can't fill the lane. Strus fills the lane. Strus rebounds. Strus plays defense. Strus he has some handle. Not like, you know, a point guard handle, but he's got some handle. So not only is he a liability on defense, if you look deep down inside, he's a liability in every facet of offense except shooting. And he can't even create his own shot. It has to be a shot that you help create for him. An analogy that you will understand, Jay, because you're a soccer fan too. It's like watching Roy Lassiter or Higuain in the box, and you can't give them the ball to start dribbling between 3 and 4 people to get into the box because they'll take it away or whatever. Lassiter had plenty of athleticism, but he wasn't a great dribbler. Higuain's too old and too slow, and he can't get past people. Those are the kind of guys that you have to set up at the box so they can one-time it. They can't be weaving and bobbing and all that because it won't work, right? It's the same thing with Duncan Robinson. You've got to set it up for him. There's no bobbing, weaving, and trying to get to the hole. There's no bobbing or weaving and trying to duck one guy and get to another and get a shot off or something. No, that's not who he is. So that's the problem with Duncan Robinson. Yeah, he's a liability on defense. But if you really look at him on offense, he's also a liability almost everywhere on offense. He's so one-dimensional. And I don't know if you can actually get any better than what he is, right? He looks like the kind of guy that reached his peak already. And it took a lot to get where he's at. Because to his credit, he learned how to play without the ball and running through picks and setting himself up. At least he does that, and he does it very well. But he lacks so much of his game on offense that he hurts you in other ways too. And that's the problem with him. He's trade bait, man. You got to move him. Got to move him. You got other players. I'd rather keep developing Strus and Caleb Martin over Duncan Robinson because those two other guys show me something on the other side of the court. And if you're going to play on this team and if you want to advance in this league, man, you got to play some defense. Got to. So, Jay, that's to me, that's my problem with Duncan, that there's just too many holes in his offensive and defensive game. Nikki Davis says, been a Dolphin fan since the 70s, just got to watch a few national games a year, but I always kept up with them, me living in Kentucky. Really excited for the Dolphins this year. So am I, Nikki. I am so pumped. Lenny Pena says, my thing is, why not pay the luxury tax to take advantage of the Jimmy era? He's not getting any younger. If they can pay the luxury tax to take advantage of this window, take it. I when it comes to Mickey, I just don't want to hear about luxury tax, bro. I just don't want to hear about that. I don't care about somebody like that crying poor. I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry. I just don't. I love Mickey. I love what his family has done. I love what the Heat have produced. But please don't cry poor to me and tell me that, oh, my God, I don't make this move because I don't want to pay the luxury tax. And then if I have to do it 2 years in a row, then, you know, it's I get penalized a lot more in the second year, and I may have to pay an extra $5 or $10 or $20 million. Oh, my God. I get it. It's a lot of money for you and me, but for him, it's not. You want to play this game? You got to pay some taxes, dude. I'm sorry. I just, I love Mickey. He's a great owner, but the crying, I can cry poor. You can cry poor. I don't want to hear Stephen Ross and Mickey Harrison and people and Vinny Viola, crying poor and all. I don't want to hear that shit, dude. You want to own a pro team, right? Well, this is what's part of it. This is kind of it. There's a reason why we're ripping the Marlins on a consistent basis, because they're constantly crying poor, because they always have owners that don't have enough money. Meanwhile, I see Stephen Ross, and I know he's a world-class idiot running the team, but he spent hundreds of millions of dollars into that stadium. We paid for that arena, not Mickey. He went and bought a practice facility for the team and saved the tennis tournament and F1. I don't see Stephen Ross ever worried about luxury and all that. Yeah, sure. Did he try to get money from the city? Yeah, he tried. Failed. He went and paid for it himself. That's it. So that's what I want from my owner. Look at what Viola and Sifu are doing over at War Memorial. I love Mickey Harrison. Don't cry poor to me, bro. Don't cry poor to me. I don't want to hear that shit. I have no sympathy for you that you got to pay a couple $1,000,000 in taxes. None. That's what it takes in order to win. I am sick and tired of hearing taxes with Mickey. Don't want to hear that. Don't want to hear it. If that's the reason why you didn't want to go the extra mile, then you're not really committed then. It's pretty simple. It's not like if you're Bruce Sherman, you don't have the money. Okay? Obviously. And hey, listen, who said it from the get-go? I don't want an owner with 15 owners, right? Didn't I say that from the get-go? And from the get-go, I have been dead ass right about the Marlins and Bruce Sherman and Jeter and all that. I said, no, man, that's not the ownership group I want. I want one man, one woman, one family. That's all I want owning the team. I don't want 15, 16. I saw what happened with Viner and those guys with the Panthers. They didn't have enough money. And I get that. When I see the ownership group that doesn't have enough money, I give you the benefit of the doubt. You don't have enough money. I get it. You shouldn't own the team. But Mickey Harrison can own any team he wants in the world because he's got money like he can burn money every day and laugh at the rest of us. So don't cry poor for me. I don't want to hear that, dude. It's not a good look. That's all. Don't tell me you don't want to pay the luxury tax. That's not something that I'm going to accept as like, yeah, you get a break here. No, you don't get a break here. Okay. Ross, Viola, Harrison, you don't get Moss. You don't get breaks here. Moss built a $175 million stadium for fun in Fort Lauderdale to then abandon it and go to Miami for fun. Because that stadium, it will be used by a minor league team and maybe friendlies and high school football and the academy or whatever. There won't be a pro team there anymore. It'll be a minor league team, which will draw 150 people? Have you seen how beautiful that stadium is? That dude built it for fun. He dropped $175 million. Don't cry poor to me, bro. I love you, Mickey. Don't cry poor to me. Sorry. When I'm looking at what Viola and Sifu are doing at War Memorial, when I see what Ross has done on his property, how he keeps pouring cash into that property, making it just they're building a hospital. A goddamn hospital on that property. Do you know that? The training facility. They're literally building a hospital there. So if anything happens to the players right there, boom, you got a hospital right there. Everything. Something happens to a player in the on the field in a game, you got a hospital right on the damn property. Don't cry poor to me, man. Don't cry poor to me. You got money. You got ways to make more money. That's why you are what you are, Mickey. That's why you are what you are, Ross. That's why you are what you are, Moss. That's why you are what you are, Viola and Sifu. That's the only billionaire in town that I got to hear about paying taxes, bro. Sorry. No, man. No. I got to watch my budget. You got to watch your budget. Those people that I'm talking about, they don't got a goddamn budget. So that's it. He don't cry poor, he cry cheap. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It comes out cheap. Doesn't come out billionaire. It sounds cheap. Rick, you're right. Sounds cheap. And it's not a good look. It's not a good look. I'm sorry. Not going to lie, as a Finn fan, I feel bad not knowing who Jason Jenkins was until he passed away. It sucks finding out about genuinely great people until they are gone. Well, Karen, you're not really supposed to know Jason. It's not really your place. You know what I mean? Jason was a guy that, unless you were like this really close season ticket holder with the team, maybe you ran into Jason. If you had a charitable event that you tied with the Dolphins, then you ran into Jason. And then the rest of us that worked with the Dolphins, then we all run into Jason. But outside of that, the regular fan doesn't know who the hell Jason Jenkins is. But it's our job for those of us that he touched, because the second you got to know Jason, you knew right away you were in special company. Like you knew that was a dude that was just like a guy you were always going to admire, a guy that you would run through walls for because he's going to do the same thing for you. You know, Jason Jenkins was one of the greatest human beings I've ever met in my life. And I've known him for all 14 years that he was here with the Miami Dolphins. And when he got here right away, he was one of those guys that reached out to me right away. And I got to know years ago, he told me that his mom would listen religiously to my show. And I got to meet her actually about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. I got to hug her over at the VIP tent. And I got to meet her finally after hearing about her so much from him. And yeah, Jason is just a beautiful, beautiful human being. And it was really, really tough on Saturday. It's been tough since, because you think about it constantly, and you think about how unfair life is at times, because our world took a step back without Jason Jenkins. You know, we're not better today losing that guy. We're worse off. You know what I mean? But it tells me that, I don't know, the good Lord must have had a shortage on angels. And he said, yeah, I need somebody up here with me. And he had to have made that call to Jason, because 47 years old, the impact that he constantly makes every day, we needed him here a lot more. The community needed him. Kids needed him. Charities needed him. The Dolphins needed him. You know, he was just one of those guys that it didn't matter who you were. Once you cross paths with Jason, it's over. You knew what he was all about, and you would always want to gravitate, know, appreciate, you know, a relationship with a human being like that, you know. So, like I said on Saturday, he's not the guy that runs the ball or throws it or coaches it or drafts the players. He's the guy that's behind the scenes. And those of you that had the pleasure of getting to know Jason Jenkins, then you know what the hell I'm talking about. He's just as special as it gets. I will never be half the man that Jason Jenkins is. I just hope, I hope they do something to honor him this season. I don't know what they do, man. I don't know if they can put a double J, in the end zone or something, some kind of a logo or something. I don't know. Do something for him because he deserves it. He's that good of a human being that he deserves to be remembered by everybody. Remember what they did with Carl Barger? Remember, you got to be old. But remember Carl Barger was the guy that came from the Pirates. And he passed away in the creation of the Marlins. And then they kind of honored Carl too, right? He's this kind of guy that you want to honor. That's who Jason Jenkins is. Whoever replaces him, that woman or that man, they can't fill those shoes. They can't fill those shoes. I don't know. I don't know if that dude up there created another guy like Jason. Maybe that's why he asked for him so early. It's just stuff that it's unacceptable, man, to lose him. It really is. All right, let's take a quick break. I'm already over hour number 1. Hour number 1 is done. Hour number 2 is next.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Evolve your training and step into the new era of muscle recovery. Red Recover.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Number 2 of the program. Welcome aboard. Thank you all for joining us wherever you are in the world. Always appreciate you. If you want to get in on the program, hey, our Welt and Rayom text line is there for you at 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, you can also reach out here on our YouTube chat board. Please subscribe. If you're watching the show, please subscribe. Help us get to 25,000 subscribers. That's the goal. Yeah, we're getting close to 14. But no, we want to get to 25. So come on, help us get to 25 down the line. Would it be possible to get there by the end of the year? Huh? That would be amazing if we could. Dougie Fresh says, Tannenbaum is telling the world that Tua underthrew the ball, a completed pass of 51 yards. This fool is this ex-girlfriend who got replaced by someone younger, hotter, and can shut up about it. That's all right. Don't worry about it. Remember, he's all in already, right? So he's got to try to keep hammering it away, because if not, he backs out like a lot of people are starting to do. They're starting to backtrack and starting to get on the Tua bandwagon. Then, so he's got to go all in now. And that'll be good, because when Tua balls out, he will be part of those who I absolutely tear apart. So that's fine. I'm looking forward to it, dude. I want more people to not believe in Tua. That's what I want. I want more people to say, yeah, he can get it done. And that way, when he does, I'm going to have some fun. Ho Yoon, thank you, sir, for the love on the Venmo. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, because we get the entire donation there. You can do it here on Super Chat. We get 70%. YouTube gets 30%, but we appreciate it either way. Rick DeMan or Rick D-Man sends in a little love on Super Chat. He says, if you enjoy it, support it. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate you. Thank you for helping us and keeping us around. Rick Lupicea says Hunter Long looked great and Liam is looking good too. So 2021 draft, Jalen, Javon Hunter, and Liam. Wow. Yes, you are correct. If Liam does turn the corner, I don't think he's looking great, because I think he's kind of the weak link on there right now. But if he does turn the corner, listen, you start looking all around. If Austin Jackson starts playing like the way he's playing now, and he's looking like a good lineman, and Tua works out, then Iggy's the only one that really is the loss out of it. And if you look at, total of the last 3 drafts, that's exceptional. And that's where, this guy's been in charge, and Chris Greer overall. Tannenbaum drafted Mark Sanchez with a top 10 pick. Yep. And extended Ryan Tannehill too. Not only that, he thought Tannehill was worthy, so he gave Ndamukong Suh a contract thinking he was going to turn around the franchise. Yep. Let's see, what else do we have? Good thing the Big O Show is here. Makes getting over COVID a little easier. Well, hang in there, Victor, and don't worry too much. Brian says, morning, Big O. So thankful Finns didn't draft that punter. I was pushing for it, being from San Diego. Bullet dodged. The story from Matt Araiza, and I got to give the Bills credit that they did not waste any time and they cut him. But the amazing part to me is they didn't know. Nobody knew. And this happens a lot in the NFL. You know, the the biggest bullshit story that we hear from people sometimes that cover the NFL? Well, NFL investigators are great. They look into everything. Really? Really? Okay, so how come so many things get by them? How come they didn't know that Aaron Hernandez was killing people on his off time? Must have missed that. I mean, come on, dude. NFL investigators are not that good. Can we stop with that already? They're not that good. Because this stuff happens all the time. And I saw Brandon Beane, I believe is the GM. He said they called 10 plus teams to find out if they knew anything, and none of them knew anything about it. So that means you all suck. You all don't really investigate. You didn't really investigate the Deshaun Watson situation. It took the New York Times to put out the story that it was 66 women. You didn't even know that the Houston Texans were actually part of this because they were enablers, creating the document and setting up the damn appointments. The NFL investigative committee overall blows. Okay? They find out the same thing you and I could find out with Google. So please, stop bragging that you have this guy that's ex-FBI, and this guy used to work with law enforcement for 25 years, and this and that. NFL investigators suck. They're a bunch of fucking clowns. Okay? So please stop with this. Don't brag ever to me again about NFL investigators. I'm tired of hearing about that because I'm constantly hearing about stuff that they never know and it ends up coming out. Dan Snyder's been getting away with everything. What are NFL investigators doing about that? Did they do anything to try to nip it in the bud? No, because they probably didn't know it was going on anyway. NFL investigators, my ass. Okay? Please don't tell me anymore that the NFL investigated into it, because that's just by telling me they did nothing. Because they don't care. Meanwhile, the Ray Rice video was there, and what, you really, oh, so you didn't know? Because that's what you're saying. You didn't know about the video. Of course you didn't. You have NFL investigators. You have a bunch of fucking idiots coming out of a Volkswagen, 38 of them with little noses that you can squeeze, and colored hair with like 8 different colors. That's your NFL investigators. So please stop. The NFL doesn't investigate anything. They half-ass all this stuff. There's a reason why it all gets by them. And I can just talk about example after example after example, and they just constantly screw up. So the Ariza thing, nobody knew anything. Nobody ever knows anything with the NFL. They investigated it, my ass. Innocent until proven guilty in a civil suit is not law enforcement involved. Remember Jonathan Martin. Jonathan Martin's a pussy. Okay? Please don't even bring that up. And the guy actually, I guess you haven't really read into it. You need to read into some of the stuff that has already really gone on, where he did admit having sex with her. And then he conveniently in a conversation then after, oh no, this matter raised, I don't remember anything anymore. Yeah. Yeah. No, hey dude, listen. Bill Clinton didn't inhale, right? And the glove didn't fit, so you acquitted also, right? Is that what you're doing, bro? Innocent until proven guilty? Yeah, and Ben Roethlisberger, the cop blocking the door. Yeah, no, he was innocent. He wasn't doing anything. Right, of course. No, they're all innocent, my brother. They're all innocent. Who's the guy that said that with the innocent thing? Hey, I've got a bridge for you in the Keys, my man. Whew. You're the guy that falls for the Nigerian prince that sends you the letter that he needs help, and he's, if you help him, he'll unlock millions for you. Are you that guy? Innocent until proven guilty, huh? You don't think for yourself, so I guess OJ was innocent for you, huh? Yeah. I love these people that try to bring this silly ass common sense or something to it. Oh no, they're innocent until proven guilty. Oh, yeah, of course they're all innocent, bro. They're all innocent. We just, the evidence isn't right there perfect, but that means they didn't do it at all. Of course. Because you probably think Watson's completely innocent, right? Yeah. Of course. CRS Collectible says, "Ha, I'm dying. Go get him, Big O." I mean, it's ridiculous. If you're going to be that incredibly naive and you're going to say stupid shit like that, come on, man. I don't think O.J. Simpson is innocent, but I don't think that he killed her. I think his son did, but okay, was there with him, and they planned to do it. Okay, JDM. At 11 something really is not a good time to be drinking. Just want you to know that, JDM. It's not really a good time to be drinking. Should probably put that drink down. Frankie says, I mean, when you get to accuse of something, you're not going to go in there saying, yo, I'm guilty. What's with all the 30-year-old references, oh? What's 30 years, bro? Is Ben Roethlisberger 30 years? Or you just picked the one that is 30 years? Is that what you're doing? I got you now. So you picked the one that's 30 years. I got you. 11 p.m. is cool for a drink, not 11 a.m. Yeah, I would agree with that one. So, what can I tell you? What can I tell you? You know what I can tell you? I can tell you we're 28, 18, and 1 against the spread in our liquor split matchup of the night. Unfortunately, Inter Miami let me down on Saturday. I went with Inter minus half a goal against the New York Red Bull. And boy, that was a lot of bull. They ended up losing 3-1. They had the red card and all that stuff. I get it. Pozuelo got the red card in the 29th minute. They got a red card too, but still, their goals came after our red card. Oh, man, that one sucked. But they ended up getting their own red card after too. But they end up losing 3-1. So obviously, I lost in our liquor split matchup of the night. Well, tonight, the Marlins will wrap up their set with the Dodgers. Let's give you our liquor split matchup of the night.
It's time to tap that app. And no one loves to tap that app like the Big O. Here's the liquor split matchup of the night.
Here we go. They've lost the Marlins have lost 2 of 3 to the Dodgers over the weekend. They're 8-20 in their last 28 games. And I think, Sean, you're right. I think they might end up reaching that 100-loss mark. 8-20 in their last 28 games. They're 55-72. Tonight, Tony Gonsolin is on the mound. He's only 16-1 with a 2.1 ERA. And Pablo, please don't mention me in trade Lopez because I will fall apart, is 8-8 with a 3.66 ERA. And Pablo has been an absolute mess that you cannot trust since he was part of the trade rumors. And that poor kid, I don't know, he lost his mojo. Dodgers are favored by 1.5. The over and under 7 runs. Dodgers are minus 250 on the money line, and the Marlins are plus 200 on the money line. I'm going Dodgers minus 1.5. I think they're going to have their way. I think Pablo will struggle once again. And listen, they've scored several runs in this series already as it is, and the Marlins are just thinking. Like I said, they're 8-20 in their last 28 games. It's not good, all right? And they've already lost 2 of 3. They'll lose 3 of 4 to the Dodgers. I'm going Dodgers minus 1.5 runs in our liquor split matchup of the night.
The matchup of the night is brought to you by Liquor Split, Miami's own online liquor store. Liquor Split. Download then tap that app and get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split.
True Fin fan sends in a little love on Super Chat. He says, look at Tua's throwing motion on that throw to Tyreek. He threw it effortlessly and placed it away from the DB. What the hell Tannenbaum talking about? Now, listen, Tua was also honest enough that if he threw it ahead of him, look, I saw him throw a 62-yarder a week and a half ago, whatever it was. So he can throw it farther. It's all about timing. And he was off a little on that timing. The good thing is he threw it to the left so he could get away from the DB, and the DB with his back turned, he was able to complete it. And that's all that counts, that it was completed. Could it have been a touchdown? Of course, if he leads him on it. Could he throw it and where he led him? Of course. He had to release it probably a little bit of a half a second before he had to release it. But that's all timing, and hopefully those are the kind of moments that will settle in a game. They haven't had a lot of those kind of moments. They will throughout the season, and hopefully the timing will be that much better as it goes on. All right, time to talk a little Dolphins. Let's go with our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report. Alan Poupart is ready to go.
Let's get ready to talk Dolphins football. It's the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report with Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupart. With locations throughout South Florida, Sports Grill is the home of the special grilled wings. Check out our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Alan Poupart.
To talk a little Miami Dolphins football. He's got his Montreal Expos hat on, ready to go. How you feeling?
Doing great. Yourself?
Very good. Very good. You and I got to know this guy for 14 years. Just your thoughts on the Jason Jenkins loss, because, man, it's just like we were just hanging out with him and just one of the best people you would ever meet, right?
Always smile on his face, in a good mood, pleasant to everybody, hard worker, cared about he dove into the South Florida community and went above and beyond. It's like I tweeted Saturday night. It's just, there are no words to describe just how completely awful this is. I mean, it's brutal. No, great guy. And you look at all the tributes that have been written about him, or like the verbal tributes. It tells you the kind of guy he was. It's just, it's brutal.
Yeah, man, it hurts to lose a guy like that.
Yep.
We're not a better world today.
Nope.
Our world took a step back because we lost that dude. You know what I'm saying? He must have had a shortage up there of angels or something, dude. I mean, some must be going up there 47, bro. That's like, he had a lot of work ahead of him, man. He had a lot of good that he was going to do for many more years to come.
Yep.
Just so unfair to lose a guy like that, man.
No, and 3 young kids too, which is
Yeah.
makes it even worse. It's just completely awful. Like I said, I mean, there's no other than singing his virtues as far as what happened. There's no other way to say it other than it's completely awful.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's one of those that just it kind of, on a great night for the Dolphins to close out the preseason, you know, it kind of it just made everything not matter, you know.
Correct.
That's what it was. It was just one of those things like, yeah, wow, whatever, this doesn't matter, bro. This guy is what matters. Like, you know, and it's hard to find when you talk about a sports organization. It's hard to find somebody that isn't playing on the field or part of it that people all around will gravitate to and talk about. Normally somebody else that passes away that's, somewhere in the ticket department or whatever, you feel for that person, you have sympathy, but this guy's different. This guy was a guy that touched everybody. Didn't matter if you were in that organization, you ended up running into Jason Jenkins. He left that lasting impression on you every single time.
No, and the thing is, the Dolphins have not had like a ton of success on the field over the past, I don't know, decade or so.
2 decades.
They were doing things right, and they were an organization to be admired for what they did off the field, and that started and began and included throughout the process. Jason.
Yeah. Jason made it all, man. We will miss you, Jay. We will miss you, brother. It's gonna be a little hollow now when you go to camp. It's like that's the one spirit that you're gonna be missing, that energy, that vibe, that smile. We're gonna be missing that one every single time. It's like when you go to camp now, it's just there'll be something missing for the rest of time. It really is terrible,
just
man.
A great pleasant aura about him.
Man. Just a good dude, man.
Yep.
All right, so the Trey Flowers acquisition. Your thoughts on that acquisition for the Dolphins?
No, it's a very good move. I mean, adding a quality, and I saw somebody like complaining about, picking up another injured player. Well, if he hadn't dealt with injuries, he wouldn't be on the market right now. So you understand that. No, it's another quality veteran, and you look at like the roster of edge defenders that they've put together. I mean, between Jalen Phillips, Melvin Ingram, Van Ginkel, who's a very nice player, and then you add this guy on. I mean, holy smokes. Wonder where that leaves my guy Porter Gustin as far as making the roster, because I've liked him a lot too, but he's not nearly as established as Trey Flowers is. So
he might make it while AVG's out. He might have that spot while AVG is out. That I could see that at least for Porter. I like him too. I thought maybe he would make this team.
Yeah, no, and I'm actually in the process of putting together my final roster projection. I haven't gotten to the defensive linemen / linebackers yet. I have to study that. I'm going to see if there's a way for him to make it. Remember that Van Ginkel, though, cannot be placed on PUP, so you have to carry him on the original 53 to put him on IR. Okay, once you practice, you can't go on PUP anymore. Like Byron Jones can go on reserve PUP.
Right, because he never practiced.
Correct,
right.
But Van Ginkel couldn't. So, and obviously they're not putting him on IR with an appendix issue. So.
And he did, and McDaniel did a great job of telling you guys nothing whatsoever yesterday. The Byron Jones one, I kind of get the feeling that's they must be comfortable with his progress behind the scenes. They're not telling us, but the fact that they make no moves whatsoever, that they're minimal moves, McKenzie, whatever, all those kind of things, that tells me that he's got to be on track. Something tells me that he's going to start practicing soon, and we're going to go, oh, he's back. And they're going to give him, that week and a half to just get kind of acclimated, and then throw him out there and ready to go.
Yeah, that's a vibe I get too. And also remember, though, that you don't want to replace him with just like a cornerback just to have another cornerback, because they have young cornerback with some ability, but we're not Byron Jones. And the guys who are on a par with Byron Jones or close to it don't want to come to the Dolphins knowing that they're going to be they're not going to play a role. Like Joe Hayden, for example, and even Drew said it on his weekly segment a couple of weeks ago, that Hayden's looking to sign, but he's looking to sign as a starter. Well, that's not happening with the Dolphins. If Byron Jones also, he's on the sidelines for those preseason games, which kind of maybe I'm reading too much into it, but if it was a major issue where he was weeks and weeks and weeks away, I'm not sure he'd be there. So I kind of get the feeling, I had somebody ask me this morning, my gut feeling is he's off PUP tomorrow. That's my gut feeling.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they feel excellent about him, and that's why they haven't made any moves in my eyes. I just get that feeling because it's just there has been no movement there, no concerns. They haven't flinched whatsoever. Look, AVG's banged up, obviously, because of the appendix, and they went and made the Trey Flower moves. So they didn't waste any time right there. So that tells me that AVG probably will not be available in that first week or two, and they've got to have that extra body in there. That's kind of what it tells me in a way. And I figure having your appendix removed, I don't expect you to be ready in week one. That might be a little much for him.
No, but also, see, I think that goes beyond that, because remember, you signed Trey Flowers then. I mean, his contract becomes fully guaranteed, like after week one, if he's on the roster in week one. So I think this was made to, like, you know what, let's add another
pass rusher
because he's out, he's available, and he's familiar with the system that the Dolphins run.
Yeah,
another stud never hurts.
No, you're right about that. All right. I had Sony Michel the entire time on this roster, thought he would make it, but Gaskin has outplayed him by miles throughout the preseason. Sony Michel has proven one thing throughout his entire career. He is very unreliable. And Myles Gaskin has proven something so far in his very short career. He's incredibly reliable. So what happens with that third running back? Is it Sony Michel? Is it Myles Gaskin? Do they not go with the bigger back? Do they go with the more reliable back? Or do they go somewhere else?
I don't think they go somewhere else. I had thought when we got into training camp at first of all, I thought Sony Michel was a lock to make the roster. And I thought maybe they'd keep 4 halfbacks along with fullback Alec Ingold. And as camp progressed in the preseason, to me, it became very clear that you have Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, and then there's a big gap. And to me, and even if you looked at the game Saturday night, all of them had some good runs, and that includes Zaquandre White, that includes Jared Dokes, Savon Ahmed, Gaskin, and Michel. So now I'm of the opinion that they're going to wind up keeping 3 halfbacks, 2 or 3 on the practice squad.
Right, Zaquandre and Dokes will go to the practice squad, is what I'm thinking.
Or Ahmed if you decide to keep Myles Gaskin.
Right. So who's your third back then?
Right now, I'm flipping a coin between Gaskin and Ahmed.
I'm going Gaskin.
I can see that. The thing we agree on is it's not, to me, I don't see it being Sony Michel. I have not liked what I've seen from him at all.
Bro, you were here for a couple weeks and you were injured half the time? That's been your effing career, man. You're unreliable. And that's my problem with that guy. And so for me, I would go Gaskin, and I would stick Zaquandre and Dokes, who, by the way, had a really nice night on Saturday, ran hard overall. So I thought that was really good. Those are 2 young guys that you can stash on the running back spot. Okay. We know who the 5 receivers are. We've talked about this already for a couple weeks. It's already locked. It's been locked for a while, those 5 receivers. Do you keep 6 or not? And if you keep 6, is it Lynn Bowden or Craycraft? We know Preston Williams is done. So Bowden or Craycraft as your 6, or no 6th wide receiver? I'm going Bowden because of special teams. They don't really have a returner, and I know you don't want to make Waddle or Tyreek a full-time guy. I think that kid is the one, and Lynn Bowden Jr. has the ability to help you out in that area where Craycraft doesn't. I love Craycraft's consistency. I like him, actually. I'm going to go with the potential of Lynn Bowden as my 6th wide receiver. Do they go with a 6, or do they stay with 5? What do you say?
We'll find out tomorrow. How's that for an answer? Wow. No, that's a really, really tough call. And I'm going to I get the returner argument, but I don't.
There's not another one. We don't have one on this team.
Cedric Wilson has returned punts in Dallas.
Okay, but that's not. They really haven't. It doesn't. No,
they haven't used him in a game. You're absolutely right.
So I'm wondering, this is the only guy they've used. Hey, it's just like this. Your boy made the team, Ethan Carter. He's locked in the team. When I saw him play fullback, it's over, dude. Because you're not keeping 2 fullbacks on the team. No. And like I've been talking about this now, you can keep Skyler. You can't do the shit you did last year where you got guys on the back end of rosters that don't help you out on special teams. They're mediocre in position player. You can't do that. This year, they're not doing that. So the back end, they've got to be two-way guys. Ethan Carter, bro. I saw him play fullback. I said, that's it. He made the team simply on that. He can play tight end. He can help you out on special teams, and he's your backup fullback. Hell yeah, he made this team. So that's why when I look at Lynn Bowden Jr., I'm going, well, wait a minute. You saw what he did with that reception. He took it to the house. You're using him on special teams. He's young. I think you keep Bowden over Craycraft, unfortunately, even though Craycraft is probably the better wide receiver right now.
Okay, couple of things is number one, I did call Ethan Carter a while back. The dude played H-back for the Bengals, and that to me immediately, once McDaniel is hired as a head coach, that guy's got a spot. Second thing, the Bowden touchdown against the Eagles. I mean, tell me that those Eagles defenders didn't look like they were ready to walk to the parking lot. I mean, Jesus Christ, I don't think I've ever seen a play defense more pathetically than that.
But I gotta give the kid a little love because he scored, bro. So I gotta give him some love. But remember, I'm telling you, the other guy's a better receiver than Lynn Bowden right now. But I just think Lynn Bowden makes the team over him only because of special teams, and he doesn't want to serve up Waddle and Tyreek all the time to bail them out in that area.
You make a very good argument. I'm kind of like, let's say I'm 51-49 leaning to they keep Craycraft and they audition somebody else to do the punt returning.
And that I was going to mention that they either go or they go neither one of those guys, and somebody gets a returner released and they're like, yeah, we want that guy instead. Right. And we'll take that guy. You know what I mean? Well, and he might be a corner. He might be a receiver. He might be a running back. I don't know, but that could happen also. It's rare, but that's something that could happen. And
my eyeballs tell me from what I saw in practice that I just Bowden is not special enough as a returner that you keep him over Craycraft, who's a much better receiver. That's
fair assessment, bro. It's a fair assessment. He has not wowed you in that. You're right. They don't have a guy that wows you. It would have to be Waddle or Hill to do stuff like that. That's the only thing, man, that it kind of hurts that they don't have. All right, the other one. Do they go Cameron Good? Do you go Sam Eguavoen? Or neither one? What do you have making the team?
I haven't gotten the linebackers yet, but if the choice is those two, to me, it's a slam dunk. It's not even close, and it's Cameron Good. But he's kind of like an outside backer, which is, again, this comes in. He's an off the ball backer, but more lines up outside. Does he get affected by Trey Flowers arriving? That's the thing. And like I said last week, I like him better in Channing Tindall, to be honest with you.
He helps at linebacker, he helps as a pass rusher, and he helps on special teams.
Special teams, correct.
So that's why. And Trey's not really going to help you out on special teams.
No, not at all.
And so that's what I like about Cameron. Has a lot of versatility to his game. I don't think we know everything he can do yet, because the athleticism tells me that you can play with him a little bit more as an outside backer. You can stand him up if you want. And I don't know, maybe he has a little more into him. Maybe he can play other positions. He's big enough to be in the middle also, right? I don't know if he can play it.
No,
I don't know if he has the instincts.
He's kind of Jerome Baker size. So, or maybe a little bit thicker.
He's a little thicker. He looks a
little He's a little bit bigger than Jerome Baker.
Yeah, he looks a little thicker than Jerome Baker. So
without question, he makes the team long before Sam Eguavoen makes the team. And I think I saw enough where I think they're going to wind up finding a way to keep him on the 53.
Yeah, me too. I told Joe Rose this like 2 weeks ago. I told him, your boy made the team. He goes, my boy. And I go, yeah, Cameron Good. He goes, oh, yeah, my Cal guy. I go, yeah, he's going to make that team for sure. He goes, nah, you're crazy. I said, yeah, man, he helps all over the place. He's a versatile guy. Mm-hmm. This is a sneaky good draft. This is going to end up being a sneaky good draft, man. You had a third, a fourth rounder. Looks like you might have hit on both, and both your seventh rounders are going to make your team. That's crazy, man.
I'll be honest with you. The one I like the least right now is a top
Tyndall.
player. Yeah,
huh? Tyndall, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure I say anything special there. I mean, it's still very early, and I'm going to give him time at this stage.
I think he's still
it's possible. Maybe he's thinking too much, but I don't see anything special about the guy right now.
Yeah, I think he's still thinking too much, and that happens with linebackers. Sometimes it takes them a little bit. Sometimes some of those, there are guys that hit right away, but I'm not surprised that sometimes these backers come in and they've got to do a little bit more, because the worst thing that's happened to college football is that they took away the responsibilities from the players and they just hold up cards. And they don't allow them to think for themselves anymore. And that's the sad part about college football, is that the coaches are so paranoid about their jobs that they don't teach the players to be responsible on their own and think for themselves. Even in the NFL, you and I grew up with quarterbacks that ran the entire offense on the field.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to really worry about the guy on the sidelines. Now that never happens. Now they have to call every play because they're so damn paranoid about their damn jobs. So they don't teach players to be smarter and think on their own and things like that. And so the transition to the NFL becomes a little harder for some of these guys because we've dumbed it down so much at the lower levels.
I agree with you. And with Tyndall also, don't like the fact that I see him miss tackles in the open field like on a regular basis. And it's like he had one like the 67-yard touchdown by the Eagles on Saturday night. I mean, Tyndall met the guy, in the hole at the line of scrimmage. And even without bringing him down, at least slow him down to where your help can get there. And basically the guy just bounced off him and then sprinted outside. And then another bad play downfield where they let him get to the sideline and then tiptoe there. But no, that's a little concerning. And again, there hasn't been anything like I'm watching good and I see, you know what? Yeah, there's something there. And I just don't see it with Tyndall right now.
By the way, did you see Baldinger put down his video again on the game? Did you see what he posted?
I did not.
All right. He's such a McDaniel fan, dude. Because he pointed a bunch of stuff out that the line was doing and all that. And I am excited about that. I got to say, I'm excited that I don't know if, dude, you and I have been around this team for a long time. What do we have to go back to? Like, what's it called? Trying to think of the guy that Jimmy had and Wanstead had as offensive coordinator.
Gary Stevens?
No, just before Gary Stevens, right? It was right before Gary Stevens. Damn, he was the coach for Washington, the coach for North Turner.
Okay.
I mean, we've got to go back to maybe having a mind like that on this team. I'm really excited. I really feel like the offense has an edge now with a guy that really knows play design. And to me, that's something that did not exist at all last year. Play design or even play call, that you knew when to call things and set things up against other teams. I just think you have a guy that, takes this to another level when it comes to offense. Yeah. And we haven't seen this in a long time here, bro. Long time.
No, I completely agree with you. The guy's really, really sharp. And you saw some of the things. This was the first game where you saw some of the things that they're going to be doing with the running game. And it's really cool to see. And to me, that's more important than focusing on the result, because the result was like the Eagles checked out of that game really, really early. So the Dolphins were going to kick their ass. It was almost inevitable if they showed up and they did what they needed to and they executed, which is what they did. But then seeing some of the concepts that they had, you see some runs where you got guys blocking at 7 different angles, and then the guy shoots it out. It's
you got to watch the Baldy video. It's like 2 minutes long, and he just shows a couple plays in the run game, and it's really cool the way he explains it. It's just I'm really looking forward to it, man. All right, so what are you working on over at alldolphins.com for Sports Illustrated? That every Dolphin fan in the planet needs to bookmark. So what do you got going on?
Yeah, this is a good time of year. Actually, it's fun with the. Here's what I'm going to do. I already did today examining the Skylar Thompson situation with some historical reference, including the last time the Dolphins picked a quarterback in the 7th round, which was 2016, and our friend Brandon Doughty. And since the story's already up, I'm not revealing any spoilers here. They kept 3 quarterbacks that year, and Skylar Thompson's a hell of a lot better quarterback than Brandon Doughty.
Yeah.
So from
and Sinnott to win it.
They didn't keep Sinnott.
No, I'm saying he's better than Sinnott to win.
Oh, no, correct. But what my point is, the last time they drafted a quarterback in the 7th round, they didn't want to expose him to waivers.
Right.
And
remember, Sinnott was not a draft pick. Sinnott
correct. I know.
Was an undrafted guy from Tampa.
Correct.
Tampa released him, and then Miami picked him up. So he wasn't really a draft pick. This is a draft pick that they like. Actually.
No, but I will also tell you, Reed Sinnott had a lot more to offer than Brandon Doughty. No offense to Brandon Doughty, but he was.
Oh yeah.
We're ranking them. He was 3rd. Also interesting. Yeah. Did you know that the Dolphins in 2018 didn't keep 3 quarterbacks on the roster? They kept 4 quarterbacks on the opening 53.
Oh, that's right, because they kept Ruddick, right? Didn't they keep? Wasn't Ruddick the 4th guy or something like that?
No, it was
Jake Ruddick.
Nope, it was Luke Falk and Nick Fales.
That's right. Right.
Gase didn't want to lose either one of them. Wound up keeping 4 for a little bit.
Nick Fales forward fast. Yes. And by the way, great nugget. I had no idea that nobody had worn Greasy or Zonka's number ever in a regular season game outside of those 2 guys. Crazy. I did not know that. That's a really cool nugget you had in the other day on that. I thought that was actually awesome. So
the countdown is down to 10. So this is getting exciting. I'm getting close to it. So I'm going to do as I mentioned, the Skylar Thompson piece. I'm going to do the roster projection.
It's technically 13, right? Because you're going up you're going up to the Thursday game.
I do, because that's when the fun starts. And the Thursday game involves the team the Dolphins wanted to beat out in the AFC East. So it's not any. Anyway, so I'm doing the roster projection, the final one. Along with the roster projection, I'm going to list out guys who, to me, scream practice squad candidates if they don't make the roster. And then we'll do a little historical as the most noteworthy cut-down days we've seen from the Dolphins.
I think Blaise Andries makes it to the practice squad. I think he's an interesting project at tackle. So we'll see.
I agree. Plus, he's very good at smashing the energy can on his forehead.
That too. He is. Although we have to give him an Edge energy drink can. That's what we have to do. That's the next step right there. Follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. And again, it's by law, you're not officially a Miami Dolphins fan if you do not bookmark alldolphins.com. I want you to know that there's a law that's been passed. Okay. It's a worldwide law. So it doesn't matter if you live in Malaysia or in Miami or New York or the Netherlands. Alldolphins.com must be bookmarked. Or if not, you're not an official Miami Dolphins fan. Just telling you.
Bipartisan law, no less. Bipartisan law, no less.
No doubt. All right. We'll catch up later in the week. I appreciate you.
Sounds good. You be good.
You got it. The great Alan Poupart and our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report.
This has been the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report with Alan Poupart, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and never miss a report. Search Big O Radio Show on most platforms. Visit Sports Grill in our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza.
Ray, thank you for the love on the super chat. He asks, how many wins do you anticipate this season? Richard, 12-5. Is that good enough for you? 12-5. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I have my ticket of over 8.5. So I know I'm going to win that. And Richard, thank you for sending in a little super chat there. Sean and I appreciate it immensely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I don't know if I mentioned Ho Yoon. Thank you, Ho Yoon. You sent some on Venmo. I appreciate you. Remember Cash App or Venmo. You can even send Bitcoin over in Cash App. Cash Big O Show on Cash App or Venmo there. Let me just make sure that there's nothing new there. What's going on? The market's up a little bit. Still don't understand any of this. I mean, it went down now finally because there's not enough going on in the world for it to be, soaring or anything. 20,400, good number. Good, strong number out there. Ethereum, just over 1,500. Those of you that might have taken advantage yesterday when it was under 1,500. Still, 1,530 is still amazing. It's a great buying time. I mean, right now, so awesome. While everybody panics, you load up and get ready for the run. Dougie Fresh says, I agree with what O just said. Follow Allen, a prolific writer who keeps it real. Yeah, man, he's fantastic. He does an excellent job. Ian Rappaport just reported on Twitter Bridgewater being traded to the Giants. For real? No way. Is that true? Is that true? Let's see what you got here, bro. Damn, how come? Great, right? You pull up Ian Rappaport, and now it says tweets aren't loading right now for me. What do you got, bro? You got something?
I'm checking right now. I'm double checking here, but
I'm trying to, and on my phone it's not coming up, and I don't know why. So I'm just gonna pull it up here on this Twitter handle, and again, now I'm trying to pull up something, and the Rap Sheet Twitter handle can't come up now.
No, at Rap Sheet I have here. I think I don't see anything about Teddy Bridgewater.
This is why I don't believe most of you out there. I always have to double check because you're either lazy, you fall for some stupid shit on Facebook, you fall for something, it's just like, it figures that was fake. It's hard to believe.
Last thing I got is 4 minutes ago.
Yeah. Where is this guy? Ian Rappaport Steve Malloy being traded to the Giants. Here you go, Steve Malloy. There you go, my man. There you go, Steve. There you go, baby. You got blocked now, Steve. Sorry, bro. Being stupid or lazy, one of the two. So, there you go. So, it's like yelling fire in a crowded space. Man, I felt for that like nobody's business. Well, you don't fall for it. You're like, really? All right, let's go check it out. And then we'll go check it out and see. But that's a good thing about this now. Now we get to block the idiot for being stupid and lazy. So that's the beauty. Now Steve Malloy will never be able to text the place again unless he goes and opens up another email account to then, sign up again if he wants. And then he'll get his own second chance until he does something stupid. So there you go, Steve. Steve, maybe you got fooled, but that's why you got blocked, for being stupid and getting fooled. Speaking of that, let me start off hour number 3. I gotta talk about being stupid and fooled. Let's take a very quick break. Give me a minute. Hour number 3 is next right here on the Big O Radio Show.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. you can rely on essential moving experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at FLPDjobs.com. That's FLPDjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
What? Oh, look.
Hey guys, this is Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end. I'm partnering today with Red Recover. We're going to run you guys through some drills. I started using Red Recover last year, my 4th year in the NFL. It just helps me on Mondays after games, get my recovery process started, get back into the fold of the week, and get ready for the following Sunday. And if you want to recover like me, use Red Recover.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Here we are, ready to go, ready to rock. Appreciate all of you out there as always. Alex is asking me, Big O, how do you feel about the Dolphins matching up against Buffalo this season? Well, I don't think they match up well yet against the Bills. The Bills are the more physical team. I'm hoping they can split against them. Okay? All right. Speaking of stupid and sympathy, dude, I watched the Manti Te'o documentary yesterday. I finally watched it, Sean. And I watched it with the wife. And let me tell you, it is twisted as hell. This what's his name? Jebediah. What's the guy's name? Arandadiah. What's the guy's name? I forgot his name now. What's his name? The guy that did
it's an R. It's something with an R.
Rodida or whatever, something like that.
Yeah,
whatever.
something like that. Rodida or Rodida or something.
Yes, I'm like the guy that made the voice up, and now he's transgender. I don't know how much I'm going to end up ruining for some of you out there, but obviously this guy who made the voice and the woman and all that, the fake girlfriend. And the whole story, I mean, with the Deadspin people involved and all that, it's sick and twisted what that kid did to Manti Te'o. And I feel terrible for Manti Te'o because he looks like a terrific human being, you know? But I also have to say to Manti Te'o, my Lord, my man, how can you be so... His dad was kind of on this, like, How can you be this dumb and naive? Listen, I can meet a woman, a lady, a girl, whatever the stage of my life I would be in if I was single. And I could meet a woman on a chat board and say, hey, what's up, this, that. But I'm not going to be chatting with you for a month or two. And I'm certainly not falling in love with anybody on a chat board. I got to physically see you. I got to touch you. I got to be able to kiss you. I got to be able to get to talk to you. I got to get to know you. I got to look at you in the eyes. I've been with my wife. We're going to be 29 years married on March 18th. So we're getting close to that 30. We've been together now. It'll be, at that point, it'll be November 5th. It'll be 35 years. Okay, just to give you an idea. I met my wife in Dade South in humanities class. All right. And I fell for her the second I saw her. Watched her, like, wow, I want to meet her. I want to marry her. That kind of stuff. And so for me, I'm old school, man. I'm used to going to the club. I'm used to going to the skating rink. I'm used to going to the theater. I'm used to going somewhere where, sometimes you will meet somebody. That's kind of what I am. There's no way I'm going to have a relationship for years with somebody and never meet them. That doesn't make any sense in my mind. I feel bad for Manti Te'o because he's a good dude. I feel bad for him that he was that gullible. It's a really twisted story. It's one that you will have tons of sympathy for Manti Te'o when you see how convoluted this story is, the extremes that Ronaya, that's it. Thank you, Topher, for putting Ronaya. The extremes Ronaya went to keep this hoax going, because deep down inside, he had to satisfy his own feelings, which he could also, by the way, not express in person with somebody else because of his upbringing, his parents, he could not be himself. So, in other words, he wanted to live his real life through that conversation, through that relationship with Manti Te'o. But how Manti Te'o fell for it at this level, it's really naive. It's incredibly naive. I'm sorry. I feel bad for the guy, but then there's a part of me that has zero sympathy about how he was catfished. Because in those days, that word didn't even exist. I got to tell you, if you can see that Netflix special, watch it. It's only a 2-episode special. You're done within a little over 2 hours, I think. Something like that. That's what it felt like. It felt like 2.5 hours probably for both of them. And it's worth it. It's worth it. He's a free agent, by the way. He's been a free agent now. Looks like he's out of football at this point, but you can tell that, man, that had a toll on him. That definitely took a hell of a toll on him. And how he had it, how this thing was attacking him from all angles. It would affect any of us. It would. And it plays with your mind. But how he fell for that, wow. You can call it elaborate, but there's just a part of me that says a little common sense would have just gotten you out of it right away. Because if you force the issue of wanting to meet her, Lene, Kakua, then right there would have ended, because he would have done something to disappear and not allow it to be met. But it's funny how the people at Deadspin and all that did simple search engines, and they kind of did the math. And Manti Te'o never did that kind of, simple search to try to eliminate the possibilities. What a twisted story, dude. Twisted ass story. And then and for Manti Te'o, again, you could tell he's a good dude. The way he handled it all. Crazy stuff, man. Juan says, saludos desde San Luis Potosí, Mexico. Go Dolphins. Thank you, Juan. Appreciate you, my brother. Roxy says that episode may be part of the reason Tua is so protective. Well, there's protective and then there's naive. I don't think Tua would be as naive to fall for a girl and never meet her for years, and even fall in love with somebody that you've never met physically. I have a hard time understanding that because I'm too old school. Maybe some of you that are younger, you can see yourselves falling in love for somebody you've never met in your life, and it's strictly only a text or some phone calls. No, dude, there's no way. It would be a major waste of time for me to be doing something like that. Frankie says, when are you doing a show with Doug? Next Tuesday. Doug and I are doing a show, or this Tuesday. I'm sorry. No, I think it's tomorrow. Tomorrow in the afternoon, we're doing a show. So, yes. Let's see. It's called Sense now, Big O radio show. Not common anymore. Just saying. Amen. Amen. The documentary of John McAfee on Netflix was good too. I haven't seen that one. Jonathan Jensen says, isn't that what the metaverse will be about though? LOL. Yeah, probably. When I saw my wife, I knew she was the one, says Chad. Yeah. Sometimes you get lucky and you find the one you think is the one, and then it becomes the one. Willie Dolphin fan says, Big O always dishing out great shows. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Willie. Appreciate you. And Big O, Frankie says, are you going to the concert tomorrow? What concert's tomorrow? Holy shit. What concert's tomorrow? I have my list of concerts. I don't think I have a concert till September 6th. That's Ghost. I'm going to go to Lost in the 80s on September 9. I'm going to go to the Killers on September 13. I'm going to go to the Fix on September 14th. Let me see something here. What is September 16 and 17? Oh, good. All right, so I'm definitely going to one of them. Either the 16th or the 17th, I'm going to go see the Black Moods in Naples. I'm going to see Jack White on September 20th. And I can't believe I'm going to see Jack White at the James L. Knight Center. Is it just me, or I thought Jack White was bigger than even the James? I'm not complaining because of the acoustics and everything. I get to see Jack White at the James L. Knight. That's awesome. Freaking awesome. Clutch September 27th. Seven Dust on September 28th. Alter Bridge in Orlando on the 30th. And then on my birthday, October 1st, Alice in Chains. Oh, tomorrow's Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah, I got to go to that. I don't even have a ticket for that. I have to go get a ticket for it, too.
There you go.
Yeah. Yes.
I saw it in the chat, so I went and I verified it. Jeremy Fowler is reporting Dolphins release running back Jared Dokes. Per source. I mean, I know it's no big breaking, earth-shattering news, but just want to let you know the releases are starting to trickle out.
Yeah. That's, you got to try to sneak them onto the practice squad. So that's part of the process. None of us expected Dokes to make it. Zaquandre White, I think, also will get cut. I expect those two guys to try to be snuck on to the practice squad. Let's see. Man, it's like you've got mail on acid, pretty much. Big O, you think Solomon Kinley makes the roster? Yes, I do. Let's see. Today makes it 24 years of marriage for me. She's one lucky girl. There you go, true Finns fan. Although you're supposed to spin it around like you're the lucky guy. That's kind of what you want to tell her, but that's all right. Joe Nauta says Hurricanes had running back. Yes, they did. I saw that. Oh my God, Alter Bridge, you're so lucky. No, it's not just Alter Bridge. It's not just a concert. It's a meet and greet. It's only yours truly, along with 199 other fans. It's a private show for us 200 fans. It's the debut of their new album. They do Q&A and they hang around with us and talk and take pictures. And then they play an acoustic set for us. It's really cool. It's really cool. It's an excellent experience because their hometown is Orlando. So they do that they do this where they have their album presentation. And so it's kind of an intimate setting, and it's really, really cool, man. So we'll get to see Tremonti and Miles Kennedy and the boys, and it's going to be a lot of fun, man. I'm looking forward to that Alter Bridge experience because it's not just the concert. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool. Big O, who do you think will end up as Teron Armstead's backup left tackle? I think it'll be a swing tackle, and I think it's going to be Greg Little. Greg Little will be the swing tackle when it's all said and done. I think they'll try to sneak Larnell Coleman onto the practice squad and probably won't have any trouble sneaking him onto the practice squad. Carlos says, I am behind. Te'o got fooled before the vast majority of knew what the hell was fishing back then. Also, he's a good guy who has a good heart. I really hope Te'o gets a hell of a gig out of it. Good dude, man. You feel bad for him when you watch the show. You have sympathy for the person. I don't have sympathy for his lack of common sense. That part I don't. My wife says that I was cruel. I know, come on, you got to feel bad for him. Go, yeah, I feel bad for him, but there's a part of me that there's no reason he should have fallen for this. You got to want to meet that person right away. How does this go on for this long? No. Big O, how many receivers are we keep? I'm going to go with 6. I'm going to give we talked about this with Poupart. I'm going to give Lynn Bowden Jr. the spot at number 6, even though Craycraft is the better receiver. I'm going to go with Bowden because I think they're going to depend on the special teams part and try to develop him as a special teams guy. So that's what I think. Big O, I can't wait till we sweep the Pats again. I'm with you there. I am with you there in a big time way. So, Tua. Will Tua succeed? Does Tua have what he needs? And I say yes. He didn't have what he needed before. He had somebody that was not in his corner, somebody that didn't believe in him, someone that, hell, I could maybe go to the extreme, was going out of his way to sabotaging him because he never even wanted him in the draft. And maybe it's a vindictive way of the way he carries himself, but Tua never had the support he needed. In comes Mike McDaniel. And immediately he forms a bond with Tua and tells Tua, hey, I believe in you. And I think what's happened over the last couple of months is that Tua has realized what's gone on. You got the idiot owners that weren't behind him, but they thought they were general managers and they could get Tom Brady. You had the idiot coach last year that, so he has all these scruples, right? Because, he would never tank, but he'll play for Bill Belichick. But then he also puts out a statement that he wants people with integrity, but he wants to trade for Watson. So that's the asshole we're dealing with in Brian Flores. The guy that says one thing and does completely the opposite. Don't tell me that you wouldn't tank when you were coaching for Belichick for 16 years. And all the cheating that went on, you never walked away from it there. And please don't tell me that you want people of integrity and you want Deshaun Watson. Chris Greer, Marvin Allen, and Reggie McKenzie believe in Tua. They drafted Tua. They wanted Tua. And they want to build the right team around Tua. And then the head coach comes in and he believes in him. And so now that the head coach believes in him, that leads the influence to everybody else. And then everybody else also sees that they finally built the team the right way around him. And now I think they also see that there's actually structure, because forget about that it's 48-10 on Saturday. The idea that Skyler is so prepared falls on the coaches. The idea that the offensive linemen have shown you way more in a couple of weeks than they did in the last 2 years falls on these guys. And so now the environment's a lot different. So for the people that think that, and Tua did a good job under terrible circumstances last 2 years, here's a guy that now has everything he actually needs to succeed now. As long as, the line and the running game do work, he'll have what he needs. He's going to be able to succeed now. He doesn't have an incompetent coach. He has a competent coach. He doesn't have a guy that can't build an offense. No, he has a guy that can build an offense. He has a guy that can find offensive coaches. So all of these things now are going to give Tua everything that he needs in order to succeed. So a lot of the stuff that happened the last 2 years is gone, because now you actually have a real commitment to the quarterback, somebody that understands the position and understands the talent you got to build around a Joe Montana, a Fran Tarkenton, a Drew Brees, whatever. I've seen these quarterbacks over the years, and you've got to build certain offenses around them. Joe Montana and Drew Brees and Tua Tagovailoa are not going to have two people draped on them and they're going to bomb it 50 yards. They can't do that. Okay? None of those guys can be off balance sideways and sling the ball with a sidearm and a 30-yard rope. They can't do that. Joe Montana, Drew Brees, Fran Tarkenton, Tua Tagovailoa, whatever. These kind of quarterbacks, they can't have a caving pocket. They can't have people all over their legs and whatever, and then they're just throwing over and it's all arm and they're throwing a 35-yard strike down the middle. Not going to do that. Because if you watched any of the quarterbacks I talked about, they never did those things. They worked with clean pockets. They rolled out. They repositioned themselves, but they gave themselves the space they needed in order to succeed. It's a matter of understanding. You have a coach and a front office that has an understanding of how to build offenses around these kind of quarterbacks. Tua Tagovailoa is going to have one hell of a year because he finally has what he needed, a support system and the right offense around him. 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. Tom Brady, include him in that list as well. Yeah, Tom probably is not a guy that you want him in traffic because he's not good with that. You need to give him space in the pocket to pass. You are correct. But he has a little better arm than those guys. He doesn't have a cannon either, but he has a pretty strong arm overall. But yeah, Brady's terrible when he has traffic on right on top of him. Actually, that's actually a good point, because when you can get in his face, he struggles with that. You know. All right, what else do we have here? Whenever Flores goes, no one will ever give him the power to make personnel decisions. No, and that's where they screwed up here. Big O, I'm thinking Gaskins is going to be the final back because he's a good blocker and he's been contributing to special teams. I agree. I think Gaskins has beat out Sony Michel because Sony Michel is unreliable. Okay. Tua is an inch and a half taller than Breeze and several pounds of muscle heavier now. Just a fact. Hall of Fame has nothing to do with it. And the inch and all that doesn't have anything to do with it. They're all the kind of same. They're all the same kind of quarterback. They are same kind of quarterback. You can win like crazy with them, but you've got to put the same kind of deal in front of those kind of quarterbacks. That's all. You got to understand what you have so you can maximize it. You could tell the national media is lost. Keyshawn said the Dolphins still don't believe in Tua because they tried to get two different QBs over the last 3 years. Keyshawn Johnson doesn't know the team. He has no concept of what's going on. He's just running his mouth, and, he doesn't know jack shit about the Dolphins. That's all. I explained it right now. He doesn't know that it's the owners that wanted Brady. He doesn't know that it's Flo that wanted Watson, not the front office. Front office has no power. Can't do anything. You hired, they screwed up in hiring Flo, who then started to, obviously go after them. And then you had the idiot owners. And those owners are idiots. They went to go get Harbaugh in the middle of the night and got busted for it. Oh, I agree. We go 12-5, Bills 11-6, Pats go 7-10, Jets 4-13. I can live with 4-13 for the Jets. That's pretty good. I like that. Oh, yes. RedRecover.com, by the way, is a proud sponsor of our program. We love the people at RedRecover.com. And whether it's growing your hair back or you're dealing with some aches and pains, back, neck, shoulders, elbows, knees, ankles, you name it, we've got a wrap for you. We've got a wrap for the dogs, too, to wrap their hips. As you know, as some dogs, as they get older, they have issues with their hip. But if you want them to live a healthier life and a more pain-free life, RedRecover.com has got the wrap for you. Remember, it's all natural. There are no side effects, so it's great for the kids, adults, and, of course, our beloved pets. And, yes, the kids can use it fresh off of the summer and running around and sprains and strains, or soccer practice, or how about this? If you're working out, you got to go to the gym. You can use it before and after your workouts to optimize your workouts, get that blood flow going, and help you also recover from the soreness that comes from working out. Go to redrecover.com, check out the blogs, check out the video blogs. Even Hayden Hurst, former first-round pick who plays for the Cincinnati Bengals, he uses Red Recover. So it's not just us weekend warriors. It's NFL players. It's our kids. It's our pets. It's great for everybody. You get 10% off. Use the code Big O, whether you want to get the hat or any of the other wraps. Big O, you will get 10% off. Go to redrecover.com. All right, Sean, you may want to send Marcel a little reminder there because he's on Cuban time as we speak right now.
He's covering something. He'll be a little bit late. He already texted me.
Okay. Yard Barker had a very interesting article. All right, Sean, maybe you want to contribute to this one. Those of you out there that are on the chat board, you may want to contribute to this one because I thought this was a really cool story. So it's not a story. It's kind of a challenge, let's just say. So we see that the Detroit Lions are doing the Hard Knocks thing, right? And you see what has gone on with, I don't know, other other teams that do, that they do some kind of documentary, right? So, what other sports teams need their own series? What other sports teams would you like to find out what went on behind the scenes on something like that? And the team that came to mind for me is the Dallas Cowboys. But I'm not talking about like a Hard Knocks thing. I'm talking about something like I want to find out about all the dirt that goes on behind the scenes with Jerry. Because you and I know there's some, some twisted stuff that probably goes on behind the scenes with Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys and all the other stuff that has gone on. Because when you get some of these documentaries, not Hard Knocks, but you get these documentaries that tell you about what went on with the teams and what went on during that era and this time and all that, like the Lakers and Showtime. That would be one with the Cowboys that there could be a lot of material there if we actually knew what went on in the 90s and all the way through now, because obviously there's stuff that goes on with the Cowboys all the time. So what team would you want to have its own documentary? Because you think they may have some kind of a juicy past. Like I think the Cowboys would be one, because I think a lot of shady stuff has gone on in the background. What do you say, Sean?
The first one that comes to mind, as long as all the cameras are hidden and he doesn't know he's on camera, would be Bill Belichick and watching the Patriots and everything happen around that organization. Because again, if he knows the cameras are there, you're not going to get the down and dirty. But if he doesn't know, I wouldn't mind seeing how some of that all transpired, because what you saw on Sunday was roses for most of the time. But what was happening at practices and behind the scenes?
Deflate gate and bounty. No, not bounty
yeah.
gate. Deflate gate. And what was the other gate that they had? They had another gate, and then
it was
also
their cameras, the spying on the team practicing.
That was Spygate, right? That was Spygate and Deflategate, right? That's it. Spygate, Deflategate,
yeah.
and the whole thing with the Cincinnati Bengals, Aaron Hernandez,
and then watching him and Brady's relationship.
What did they know behind the scenes? What did they really know before they drafted Aaron Hernandez? What kind of a scumbag he was? Because a lot of teams knew he was a scumbag before they drafted him, but how much of a scumbag did they know? You know what I'm saying?
Even the Jimmy G, Tom Brady stuff, Jimmy G, Tom Brady, Belichick relationship at the end.
Yeah.
Belichick now compared to when he had Brady. Oh, I'd love to see it all.
Oh, that would be fantastic. That would be good. I like that. Camera on the Bengals? Nah, that's just incompetence. That's not. There's no real dirt there. Although we could go back, like 15 years where they were on a roll under Marvin Lewis and the boys, where they constantly had people arrested. That might be pretty good there. That small era then. Nick Saban's Dolphins. It's too short. Too short. Oh, who would you want to have a beer with? Saban, Belichick, or Flores? God. Really? I think Belichick, if I could get him away from talking about like Dolphins, Patriots, or whatever, some game plan, if I can get him away and talk just football and the history of football, I'll go Belichick. I think that would be a really good conversation, actually. If you get a chance, it's called, oh God, something, it's an AFL series. It's a 5-parter, and I think it might be just called The History of the AFL or something like that. And it's a 5-part series. It's on YouTube. You could find it. Belichick is in that one. And because they're just talking about football and the AFL, he lights up and you see a different Belichick. So I'm going to go with that Belichick. If I can get that Belichick, then yeah. because I'm kind of a football geek. So I love talking about the history of the game and finding out stuff that happened in the past and all that. And he probably could, enlighten me on a bunch of things from the past. So that would be cool. I'll go Belichick. As long as I'm not talking about current football and schemes and all that, I got to get him out of that element, because then obviously that will not be a fun situation. You know what I'm saying? All right, what else do we have here? Belichick will hang on as long as it takes for him to surpass Shula's record. Well, not if they're not winning enough every year. I don't believe the owner will keep him around. I think that owner will only tolerate 2 seasons of 500 or less, and then he gets rid of them. And this could be the first year of it. And then the following year after that, it's like, yeah, not time to push you out into the pasture. This year will be that one of those years where they struggle. Okay. Can you imagine seeing all of the puppy sacrifice rituals Belichick has performed over the years? Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Cleveland with Baker and Watson drama. Remember that they had the issues with Juice. Not bad. Not bad, because that owner's also a clown, and he's done a lot of stupid-ass stuff, Lerner. So that actually might be entertaining, because there's been a lot of stupidity under Lerner. I like that one. That one's actually pretty good, because it's incompetence, but there's like dirtiness there, whereas the Bengals are just goofballs. All right. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? Oh, Tom Brady did address the meteors. Did you guys see that? He'd been gone for like 11 days, so they're asking, "Yo, Tom, where you been, bro? What's going on? Well, why haven't you been here?" Is basically what they've been saying. And Brady had a very interesting response to all of that. Let me see if I can find it for you here. Here we go. It's one of those things.
It's all personal, everyone's got different situations they're dealing with, so we all have really unique challenges to our life, and I'm 45 years old, man. There's a lot of shit going on, so you just gotta try to figure out life the best you can, and it's a continuous process.
So Tommy boy, he's 45 years old. He's got a lot of shit going on. I love how he diffuses all of the stuff that's been going on. Were you going to this team? Were you going to that team? Were you on the Masked Singer? Which I don't think he was on the Masked Singer. That would be a terrible look after all of this. I think it was more family stuff than anything else, but it's still kind of funny. Tom Brady. Come on, man.
45 years old, man. There's a lot of shit going on.
What's he gonna say about Giselle or something?
45 years old, man. There's a lot of shit going on.
That's a great way to diffuse it all, and that way there's no follow-up on the Dolphins and follow-up that you were going to this team or that team, that you were really going to retire from the Bucks, but you're here because you had no choice. Whatever. Either way, it's just kind of funny to hear him say that.
45 years old, man. There's a lot of shit going on.
Oh, I love it. All right. Kyle Ferris, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. He says, how would you feel if we got Brady? Me personally, I wouldn't watch the Dolphins anymore. No, the Watson thing would have disgusted me with the Dolphins. That's the one that I would have lost my shit. I would have been really disappointed in the Dolphins that they traded for that scumbag just to win. Really. That's the one that would have driven me. I don't know. I don't know if I would have never watched, or at least not watch him while that dude is on, or I would have been pissed or something. I don't know. I would have felt really disgusted if they went and made the move for Watson. Brady, no. I mean, I'm a Tua guy, as everybody knows. I'm on the Tua bandwagon. I've been on the Tua bandwagon. I'm not changing. So I didn't want him to go, and I'm glad that he's still around to prove people wrong and hopefully become a good quarterback. But if they would have made the Brady move, I get it. I understand that. I wouldn't necessarily been like, ecstatic about the whole thing. But I will tell you this: if it was Watson, I would have been truly disgusted. Truly disgusted. All right, let's get to a little more Dolphins talk. Marcel Louis Jacques, baby, is ready to go with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report.
Time to get the edge on the Miami Dolphins with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report. When you want the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste, you can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com. Here's the ESPN Dolphin insider, Marcel Louis Jacques.
All right. Whoa, wait a minute. He's not there.
Not here. I can hear you.
Internet is a little unstable, looks like it. Here we go.
Can you not hear me?
Marcel, are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
What are you going to say there?
You can't see Marcel?
Well, it comes out on my, actually it comes out on YouTube on the on the
I was about to say, man, I'm in here. I can hear you
on my iPad, but not on my live feed here. How about that? All right, so he's there. All right, but I don't hear him at all. That I don't.
Still no.
I'm not hearing him.
I feel like I'm getting pranked.
I'm not seeing him. I'm not hearing him.
Oh, can you see and hear me?
Yeah, I see and hear you.
Marcel is he's right here. I'm watching him right now on the screen.
I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah, no, Marcel, I have you.
See it.
Yeah, let me try to. I'm going to remove you real quick, Marcel, and try to bring you back on. See if that helps.
But on my live one here, he's not on, and since he's not on, it's not feeding my headphones, so that I'm not hearing him. So that's what's going on. It says having trouble connecting. This is often caused by an unstable internet connection. If you're on Wi-Fi, try to plug into your router or move closer. So apparently, it must be me having trouble.
You might need to refresh, possibly. I don't know.
I just looked at the comments. They can see and hear me.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense that you can see me and not Marcel, though. Hey, Marcel, I'm going to send this to break real quick. Just stand by. I think hit reset, and he's going to reset.
All right, cool.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at FLPDjobs.com. That's FLPDjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
What? Oh, look.
Hey guys, this is Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end. I'm partnering today with Red Recover. We're gonna run you guys through some drills. I started using Red Recover last year, my 4th year in the NFL. It just helps me on Mondays after games, get my recovery process started, get back into the fold of the week, and get ready for the following Sunday. And if you wanna recover like me, use Red Recover.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find. Time to get the edge on the Miami Dolphins with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report. When you want the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste, you can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com. Here's the ESPN Dolphin insider Marcel Louis-Jacques.
Oh, man. Now it's just me in here. It's about to be the Big Sell show.
I'll join you for a minute, Marcel. We're going to take a quick break. I'm working with O right now behind the scenes.
Yeah, no worries.
Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Evolve your training and step into the new era of muscle recovery. Red Recover.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane, Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends. When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.